GG's The Mouthful podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.Tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 155 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
It's podcast day! GG! It's Friday! Or Saturday when you're listening to this, actually. Probably very
for
late
us,
at
it's
night.
Friday, yeah.
But it's Friday for us.
Yes, it's the best day of the week.
Yes.
It ends the work week and it starts the awesome week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's the best.
And we started as we always do, with beverages of merriment.
That's right,
which
sir.
I am very pleased with what you got right now, actually.
Oh, I'm glad you. I wasn't sure. I was a little bit. Well, first off, the voice you're hearing, of course, is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister.
Woo!
We are drinking. I wasn't sure if you were like. I was like, I'll try it because I'm not sure how
We
you
need
feel
to
about
try
stuff.
new stuff.
We do.
Yeah.
Moon Jumper from Distill Brewery. It is a milk stout, is what it is. And how do you like it, sir?
It's kind of chocolatey. It reminds me of. It
They
reminds
tend
me
to
of,
use chocolate malts, believe it or not. So,
Yeah. There was, and of course, I'm not gonna remember. You probably won't either. But there was a time that you bought something that was kind of similar, and I don't know if it was kind of malty, chocolatey, or malty caffeine.
There was one. I didn't buy it though. Tina actually had brought some, and then we did the podcast in the house, and I was like, well, hey, this is if you want to try this, and I'm like, I don't know if you like it, but you actually liked it because it was actually a chocolate, literally a chocolate beer.
Okay, that's what it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what it reminds me of. But yeah, it's very malta, of course. It is very malty. It's a malt, and like very little. Like I wouldn't necessarily compare it to like standard beer. You know.
No. It's actually I mean, obviously it's brewed very differently. I mean, the method is still the same, but how it's done is very different from regular other ales.
It's easier
And-
to drink. I mean,
It
people
is
that like
also much
beer,
easier.
they find all type of beer.
Yes.
Easy to drink.
There's
But-
the bitter levels in this tend to be the lowest.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Tend to be
It's like
very,
I'm
very
almost
low.
done with mine, and we
Yeah.
just started the podcast. I'll be gumping it down like
Yeah.
it's frigging you.
And it's not, because it is 6.1%
Oh yeah.
alcohol by volume there. But yeah, no, it's really good. And it's like I said, it's very stouts and porters tend to be on the low end of the IBU scale. The I think it's International Bitter Unit or something like that is what IBU stands for.
That's the standard measurement of bitterness.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
International. I want to say it's in there. I'm pretty sure it's International Bitter Unit. Anyway, so yeah, it's on the low end.
I
of
like
it.
it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I will take this over like heavy duty IPAs. I don't hate IPAs. That's the thing, because even IPAs, I don't have a dislike for them. It's just they're not my particular favorite.
Yeah.
But on a hot summer day, especially when you're like mowing the lawn or something, and
Yeah.
and I know that I have left one from when we're doing the podcast. Dude, it's tremendous. It's the best.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like really, really hot.
Ice cold,
outside.
yeah. Ice cold, and it's hot, and yeah, it's good to go.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. As always, please go to oh my gosh,
Take two.
goodgame.tech.
There we go.
And join the conversation there. Also, if you're listening to this on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you're at, please subscribe to the podcast and share with all your friends.
We've been advised that there are many mouthfuls on the Spotify.
Yes.
You gotta
believe in that,
find
yes.
the one and only the Mouthful podcast.
GG's.
GG's the Mouthful podcast.
Correct,
Yes,
correct.
yes.
You gotta make
Accept
sure.
not other mouthfuls. You don't know what they are full of.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Not what we're about.
No.
What we normally do, guys, is first we'll go into what we've been up to, work into some news items, and then, of course, finally finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, guys, can difficulty ruin a game?
Yeah,
as you
very
know,
appropriate.
That's literally a hot topic right now in the industry. With games like specifically Sekiro seems to have brought it back to the forefront in the sense that people are not. They're just asking for something easier.
Software games tend to get people riled up about that kind of stuff, with the Dark Souls
exactly,
but not the only ones. I mean,
no, not at all.
Not at all. There are people who complain about. I mean, when I say complain, I mean there's reasonable. They have expectations, and when they're surprised with, oh shoot, I thought this game was gonna be this, and it's actually like super hardcore.
That and the question of accessibility seems to be also kind of stirred in the same pot with difficulties. Like we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to the topic.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, man, it starts the show with what we've been up to. And I think I'll start, sir, if that's all right with you.
Take it away, sir, because mine's going to be very samey.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what? You start, sir.
Okay.
How about that?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Let's do this differently now.
I agree.
Yes.
So first off, obviously, I'm still playing Sekiro, which I just showed you, and I also streamed yesterday some gameplay.
How was that?
Still my game of the year so far, sir. Easily loving the heck out of it.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that there were a lot of people that tuned in and saw the stream. I was not one of them, unfortunately, but I saw the rerun and it looked fantastic.
Thank you.
There's like an hour there that I have to watch. No, but in reality, I was looking forward to watching this because, well, I've seen the little gameplay that I've seen from Sekiro.
Yeah.
Had made me go like, oh man, I don't know if I want to, try this. It's the latest game, the latest must play game, I will say, probably.
I mean, I would say that, but I don't agree. Everyone would agree with it.
No. But I think, I mean, when you hear the latest game from software, creators of Dark Souls and Demon Souls
and Bloodborne
and the type of game Bloodborne, exactly. I like those type of games, even though I was never like super good at them. But I like those type of games. Now, watching the gameplay of Sekiro being so different, so it's based so much on the parry system and all that.
Yes.
Which I don't like games where I have to parry because unfortunately I don't have my timing correct, and I guess I could get good, but
I wasn't gonna say it. So.
By that time, I've lost interest, on it. So
it's like there's only so much time in a day. Do I really need to learn how to parry?
Yeah. And you can see videos on YouTube, but I kind of wanted to see a normal human playing this, rather than the gods that you see posting on YouTube.
Yes,
doing ridiculous parties and stuff.
Yeah, what is it called? The hitless run, or no hit run?
The no hit runs. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. No, I wanted to see. I want to see from the viewpoint of a regular human being, regular gamer. And yeah, I just saw it, and I'm still like, nope. I am skipping this one. It looks great. Probably like if there's a ridiculously good deal on PC, I might grab it or something. But
just to say you have it.
just to say I tried it.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I'm still playing. I won't get into much of that, but there is a stream available at our Twitch, Good Game Group. Also, I will pull it over to the YouTube channel. Forgot to do that, but I will do that soon. I did play 2 other games. First one, actually, they both technically are on mobile. The first one is Stardew Valley, which is available for mobile. Stardew Valley, yeah. And yes. I got to tell you, man, it's really, really enjoyable. I mean, people spoke, a lot of people enjoy that game. And
it's very highly rated.
Yes,
very
extremely.
Very, yeah.
And I got to tell you, the version on the phone is very good. Obviously, the type of game doesn't require Twitch play or anything like that. You just, you're just moving around your farm and planting stuff and going about your day.
I will argue that mobile will be the ideal way to play this game because you can play it anywhere.
Anywhere, exactly. Yeah. And my only complaint, so the point of this, the actual thing is your grandfather basically is dying, and he leaves you this note, and he's like, oh, don't open it now, but open it when you've reached the last point in your life, and you're like, I'm just, you'll know when to open it, but don't open it now. and then it cuts over to an office somewhere.
5 minutes later.
No, it says XX years later.
Oh,
is what it says. And he cuts over to the to cubicle, and he's like all depressed, and it's funny because one of the cubicles next to him has a skeleton that's wearing a suit and tie and everything. It's just somebody.
That's
who
how dead end job is. The dead end job.
Yes, exactly. And not only that, he was at the end cubicle too. So, anyway, so in that point, he opens up the thing, and it's the deed to the farm in Stardew Valley, and anyway, so you go there, and every day is, there's a day and night cycle and everything in the game, and you're doing little tasks, but it's very relaxing, the game itself. It is, you go in, you plant stuff, and then you water it, and then you go about your day. Maybe you'll cut some wood, or maybe you go into the town and meet some people, and and then
you socialize.
You socialize at night. You head to the bar, and you just kind of meet more people and all stuff like. Then you go home, you go to sleep, and you do it all over again the next day, right? And that's really all it is. So, and it is as silly as that sounds. There's a lot to do. First off,
take the plan aspect out, and we're playing Simnado.
Pretty much
Simnado.
But I like the fact that I can till my land. Like I got to the land, it was all messed up. It was like weeds and everything growing, and I have to cut everything down, put up some fencing, and then now I have this nice little patch and then I'm kind of expanding a little bit, and it's really cool. It's a very, very cool, relaxing game.
What's the object of it?
Honestly,
what's the end game?
The end game, I don't know, but I do know that it's measured in years. So yeah, because it's separated by seasons. So you start up in spring, day one of spring, and then it's just basically the night cycle. And one complaint I was going to mention was that the days kind of roll fast, like a little faster than I wanted to. Like
how long is the day?
Maybe 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Total. You know, so I'm like. And then, of course, the town is based on that. So a lot of places you need to go to are only open between 9 and 4. So you're like, damn it, I just missed the store. I need to pick up more seeds. Now I got to wait till tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just
as a simulation of life. As simulation of life can be.
Yeah,
I leave work at 6, and now I don't have time to stop and get the medicines because Walgreens
closes at 5:30. Like, what? Who has time? So those little things are weird. I wish there was more time in the day, which is a complaint that everybody has, right? Yeah. So, and you know what? Maybe that's why they put it that way. So you know what? I'm gonna stop complaining about the time. It's meant to be that way.
It's an allegory. Is it an allegory?
An allegory for life.
There you go. Sure, let's call it that.
Anyway, so it's really cool. It only costs $7.99 on the phone, and I was like, for what I've done and how much time I spent on it so far, and obviously I'm doing this when I'm not console gaming or anything like that. So, and it's cool. It's fun. The music is very cool. It's
the music is very relaxing, very sweet, very, very cool.
I really do.
You meet you customize your character to a certain extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then can you choose your gender, or is it just
yes, you can. Yes,
okay,
you can.
All right. So because I was gonna say it does have a funny thing with like a love interest aspect.
Oh yeah. Well, because the character's young, and this is sort of like Sims. So as time goes by, you're going to develop friendships and relationships like that, and you can even get the characters. You get to the point where they can get together, get married, have kids, and everything. You get to basically, I think the end game of the game is for you to get to the grandfather's point. You know what I mean? Which part of me is like, that's kind of awesome. You know what I mean? I was like, it's also kind of sad, but it's kind of awesome. Yeah. Circle of life.
It's a circle of life.
Yes. But no, it's pretty cool. And
by that time you're so old, you can't take care of the farm. The farm goes downhill.
Again, and
it's all
messed
up.
To my grandson.
Exactly, and the cycle begins. It's actually a curse.
All once over.
It's a game about a curse, And Stardew Valley is the cursed land.
The curse, is the curse of life.
The curse of Stardew Valley.
Oh man,
did you ever play? Oh man, you never got to play To the Moon yet, have you?
No, I have not.
It's a 2-hour game, bro.
I know you keep telling me that, and I've literally started it like 3 times.
No,
I swear to God. I
Yo.
literally started like 3 times, and I'm like, I can't. I don't know,
keep the
dude.
story. It's a story. It's a story. It's not even a game. It's just a story. If you keep at it, I guarantee you'll be hooked.
I'm sure I would, but if it's not grabbing me within the first 15 minutes, I'm just like,
it's not an action movie. It's not an action
I know, but it's the same thing I feel about a movie. No,
yeah. There is a part where you start seeing like stuff. You start wondering, okay, so what's going on? Like, what is it with this? And it's a beautiful story. If I've ever seen one, probably one of the first. Like, I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I cried at this game.
Wow.
Okay. It was that beautiful.
Okay.
To the Moon.
To the Moon.
And then they have a sequel, which I don't know if that
got
released.
Sun. No.
To the Moon 2, I think. I don't know.
Oh God. To the Moon 2 is horrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible name. The other game that I've been playing, believe it or not, I've been playing with Joanne.
Oh.
And it is also on mobile, and it is called TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes, it is a puzzle game that requires a second player. It cannot be played by yourself. And the reason for that.
Babe, sorry to interrupt, but can we play TikTok? Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's right here with us. She's studying. That's why she's like super duper quiet. I was gonna be like, you hear that, babe? They play a game together.
Well, to be fair, I didn't have to force her, but I had to force her. I didn't have to force her. No, I was just like, honey, I'm gonna send you $3 because the game's $3.
I'm gonna give you this $100 Macy's gift card if you play TikTok with me. Does that sound like a deal? What's that? Okay, 125. That's fine.
125 it is.
Okay.
Final offer.
Final. All right.
So way it works is, again, it's 2-player. You can't play it by yourself, but it's not online.
No.
Doesn't work that way. You basically, when you go into the game, you select player 1, the other person select player 2, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. The point is, as long as one player is playing one end, the other player is playing the other end. And what you're doing is figuring out puzzles of a specific story that's happening in the game. And it's all touch based. The puzzles are actually pretty intuitive, which are really cool.
Are you playing at the same time?
Yes, you play at the exact same time.
On the same device?
No. She plays. That's what I'm saying. So I paid for it for mine $3. I sent her $3 so she can pay for her.
There you go. There you go. That's what you paid.
So,
okay.
And I was like, just
128.
$128
dollars or so far on this game.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Well worth it though. But no, the puzzles are really cool. And what it is, you look at, obviously you'll go into a room and they go into a room, you go into a room, and you both are seeing two different things, and you're figuring out. You have to talk and say, okay, what do you see? And they'll find a note, and then she'll read off the note, and the note will have something to do with what's on your screen. So you go, oh, okay, I think I know what this means, and you'll use that to figure out your puzzle. And it is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm like, this is actually, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it's also like award winning and all this stuff.
So are you you're solving puzzles, together, kind of like
Correct.
if you were in an escape room almost.
Correct. Yep. It's almost exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the difference is you can't. I mean, technically you could, but you shouldn't share your screens.
Right.
You should be talking to say, hey, what do you see? What does it say? Can you scroll left? Can you scroll right?
I almost wonder if you could apply that to a multiplayer level, even more than 2 players. In other words,
possibly.
Maybe like 5 people or something like that. I don't know.
It could be done
like a party game almost.
Yeah, I can see that working.
I bet. Yeah,
but you have to have an intricate, obviously well done story, well done puzzles.
Yeah.
That are not to the point where you're like, I don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do. And no, it's really cool. And she actually enjoyed it. That was the other thing. It was just like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. I'm like, I'm glad you enjoy it, because I didn't want to say, again, I don't want to say I forced her, but I was like, I think you're going to enjoy this if you try it. Yeah, and so she did. So it's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
We haven't finished it yet. We're stuck on a certain puzzle at the moment. But
no
it's
cheating.
all good. Yeah. That's the other thing. You can if you want, but then there's a fun in that. You know what I mean? It's like, no. I'm not going to show you my screen, and just look. What does it say? You know what I mean? Just so no, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Those are the games that I've played. I have watched a few movies, and I wanted to start with a certain movie by the name of Aquaman.
Oh, you watched Aquaman?
I finally saw Aquaman.
What'd you think?
Well, dreamy.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes
I think this is my feelings on this movie is best summarized in a limerick that I wrote.
All right.
Okay.
Talk to the fishes. Go ahead.
For the record, please, keep the laughter to a minimum. This took me about an hour and a half to write.
And I wrote it in the form of a haiku.
Limericks are not easy, guys. Okay.
All right. So
here's my limerick for Aquaman. In short,
cue the music.
Arthur has been a joke.
You already messed up.
I know, I already messed up.
Right. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Arthur has always been a joke, even with a trident used to poke. Now he's a badass, though DC's still trash. Rest of you Justice League, take note.
Yeah,
there you go.
Hold on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. An hour and a half of my life wasted to try to get that together.
Actually, we should have been opening with that.
Oh, you think so? Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
awesome. So realistically, dude, I really like this movie, and I dare to say this may be my favorite DC film.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I mean DCEU films.
DCEU,
because obviously
right.
Dark Knight and everything.
No. We're talking about the DCEU.
The more recent universe.
Yeah.
I just had a lot of fun with it, man. It was. How do I begin, man? First off, I have to point out to one thing. The director, which is James Wan. That's what I wanted to say. James Wan, I don't know if you know, has directed a lot of the Fast and the Furious films.
Okay.
Right? And you can see that in this movie, right? Because you can see the action set pieces.
Yes.
Which are
the running.
All that stuff.
Moving from different place to different place.
Yes. And I'm like, man, this is, I didn't think that that's what Aquaman's story was going to need, but it had it. You know what I mean? I'm going to start with the bad real quick because it's bad, but not horrible. And that is the writing. The writing is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a little cringy at some points and maybe a little corny, but overall, it didn't mess up the movie.
Yeah, it's still fun.
It's funny to see Dolph Lundgren as one of the heads of the sea and all that.
Yeah.
The one with the red hair who kind of just flows like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, to see him in here, I'm like, this just adds a level of just cool. You know what I mean? And I really did enjoy that.
What do you think of the villains?
So Manta, Black Manta, was a little bit ridiculous. Now, so first off, the whole sequence with him and his father in that boat at the beginning was just like, really? So in the middle of this heist or whatever it is you're doing, this robbing of this boat, he's going to stop. The father's going to stop and go, son, I've been wanting to tell you about this, and all my life. And here's this
You're
knife.
adopted.
Yeah, this is his knife that's important to our family. And it's just like, dude, you're robbing a sub, man. Get out of here. Who does this in the middle of
the moment to get all sentimental?
And then, of course, the moment you see that, you go, okay, obviously he's going to die. So clearly, this is what you're leading to.
Mr. Gonna bite it.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
exactly.
He's going to pass away in this scene.
But we need to get this in.
Yes.
Because you have to see the relationship.
Of course. Hey, there have to be an emotional impact here. Otherwise.
Of course.
Yeah.
That said, it was very silly. It gives, obviously, the villain a reason. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of have to agree with Arthur. I'm like, whatever, you didn't have to be here. It's like, and then the Manta fight later on was, and I love the fact that they have to explain why Manta has such a big head.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was just like, okay, God.
Of course.
Over a montage, by the way. A musical montage is how they did that.
Different,
and
different
so
helmets.
funny, dude. And but the fight, dude, man, when he like knocked him off with the bolo rock whatever thing, dude, I was like, man, he is dead. He's got to be as dead as dead is.
Super dead.
And well,
Yeah.
But anyway, he was just a little bit of a joke. However, the brother, which was the one who was heading Atlantis, he was a little bit more cool. I kind of understood it, and I love when that was wrapped up. Towards the end, basically.
Yeah.
I like how it was.
I like that fight at I like that.
The underwater sequences were
amazing.
Dude,
really
that was
good.
my one concern. It was like, man, how is this gonna look? How are you gonna make this look like you're underwater? And no, man, I believed. I was like, oh man, they
I love the excuses for them to because at the Aquaman normally talks telepathically, but of course that's because they're underwater, yes. So he can open his mouth, I guess, or the sound is not gonna come out of his mouth properly.
Yes,
it's gonna be doing more bubbles than anything. Yes. So they have to create this bubble shield around them, basically, or go into this bubbled room where there's no more air, so that they can have a conversation that the audience can actually have.
No, they spoke. They spoke while they were in water.
Did they though?
Yes, they did.
I thought they always had to open that bubble. That was their excuse.
They did when they didn't want to be floating, and I think the only who was able to do that was the girl, if I'm not mistaken. She was the way able to do. Anyway, but yeah, there were times where they were able to talk while it was all, while they're in the water and everything.
And it didn't come as
yeah, which you would assume. But did you notice that the brother has probably the exact look of what you think Aquaman will look like?
What?
Versus actual Aquaman.
Yeah.
Versus actual Aquaman who looks like a surfer dude.
Well, well, that's the thing, right? The brother obviously being an Atlantean.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the typical Aquaman look.
Yes.
They expected that. Hey, I'm wearing this robe, not this robe, but this suit, but obviously it's almost like scaly, almost in a sense.
He did have the scales, yeah.
But but Jason Momoa is gonna have a.
Jason Momoa look awesome in the golden and green, which not easy to pull off. No. But I gotta say he pulled it off really well. So I enjoyed it, man. I really I was smiling, I was laughing. It looked great on my new TV.
That was a perfect one of the best movies to watch in that. Yeah,
this is amazing. And there was a really, really good shots. One of the shots when they're in the dark and he just has the flare and they're just kind of going into the tunnels, being chased by all those. That was an amazing, beautiful looking scene on that TV.
When they were chased by those like monster of the sea zombies.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I'm sorry, freakers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Psychos of the sea.
Psychos of the sea.
Yes.
The new brand from the makers of Chicken of the Sea.
Exactly. Yes. Chicken of the Sea. Oh, this is not Chicken of the Sea. No. No. So it's good. I can definitely recommend that one.
What's your score?
I would give that one probably an 8.
Woo!
Yeah, I gave an 8 because I was just like, I had a lot of fun with it.
All right.
Way more than I thought. Oh, and even the mom, which in the beginning,
the mom
she was kicking butt. Yeah, dude. I was like, holy crap!
Played by what's her name?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I have the names
mom,
up here.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
She was awesome.
She was
The whole thing.
Badass.
It was kind of silly. The whole. I was a little worried that it was gonna go into the Little Mermaid type of campiness of and one day the mermaid washed ashore and she was rescued by this humble lighthouse.
That's exactly what it was, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. That's exactly what it was.
Huh?
A modern version,
it's like a modern version of that. It's that story, and it was feeling like, oh man, no. Oh, I heard this movie's good, but
I still enjoyed the fact that they kind of led to he always walks out to the pier every night.
Every day, exactly. Because she disappeared. Like, she goes back to protect him and the son. She went back to Atlantis, and for 20 years, whatever amount of years it was,
whatever the standard fairy tale is.
And he will always go to the pier. And I was like, oh man.
Still, I enjoyed when she came back and he was finally out there.
Yeah.
Clearly.
That was all grizzled dude.
I was gonna say he did not age as well as she did.
No, definitely not.
I was like,
but then again, he's just a human.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's very true. Fun fact: did you know that the beast that Aquaman has to get before he gets the trident and all that stuff, that big beast? I forgot the name of the beast. But
the crab people.
No, not the crab people. It was like this huge beast that he ends up riding at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, that was voiced by Julie Andrews.
Who?
Julie Andrews is the original Mary Poppins. If you can believe.
No, I cannot.
And I was just like in shock when I saw her name. I was like, Julie Andrews? What's she doing here?
Yeah. She was the crab queen or whatever.
Whatever she
monster,
was.
It was a huge monster.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
That underwater fighting scene also very, very good.
Very cool, but man, you got to suspend your disbelief a little bit because I was why are explosions exploding underwater?
Underwater,
explode outside. This doesn't work somehow. But it's all good. It's like I said, in the end, I'm like, I'm all right with this. Yeah, I'm in. I mean, you have me. I'm already the whole world, and they end up in the desert. And by the way, I'm spoiling the shit out of this, but anyway, the desert. And
I did not like that.
It didn't matter.
True. It didn't matter. Okay. But it kind of reminded me of. It's almost like the episode Star Wars episode 8. The side quest story where the side quest.
Yeah, side quest. That's what it is. Yeah,
where they go to the casino world and that kind of like, was this necessary? And we're here is the desert world where of course they are it almost reminded me a little bit also of Nathan Drake of Uncharted.
Uncharted, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
They're going into to get the artifact.
Also, the wigs in this particular movie.
the wig. Oh, yes.
Left a little bit to be desired. This is like, wow. Try a little harder, guys.
You nailed it and everything else.
Yeah, like the special effects are amazing.
Yeah,
you can work on the wig. Exactly. Just make it look a little real.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's and I pick on it like with those little things because I'm just joking. I still enjoy the hell out of it, and I would probably watch it again.
Yeah.
So. And then the last thing that I watched was a new movie that came to Netflix, I think last week. It's called The Highwaymen, and it is based on a true story of two Texas Rangers who take out Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh.
And the whole story, how that leads up to it, because they're much older at this point than the young Rangers they used to be. And it's not bad. It's actually it's pretty decent. Again, based on a true story. Does have elements of it. I like the way that they portrayed Bonnie and Clyde as being mysterious, because they never focus on them at all, and it's just like they're these
mythical figures.
Almost mythical figures. Because also during the time, believe it or not, the U.S. like a large population within the U.S. supported Bonnie and Clyde, who were known murderers. It was like, set them free, or I can't wait for them to, and he's like, what the hell? Yeah, you know what I mean?
And criminals, people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, like hardcore,
Since when the U.S. support criminals? Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I forgot.
Wait.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It stars Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. Those are the main two guys.
Oh, wow, cool.
And you have a couple other people in there that you may recognize, may not recognize. Either way, it's a pretty decent cast, and I enjoyed it. It's very cool. Not much to say on it because it's about history, and it's very recent. And it's available on Netflix, so just pop it on and enjoy it. So it's obviously a much slower film, but it is good.
For a moment, I thought that you said the movie's name was The Highwaymen.
No.
That's how it sounded like.
The Highwaymen.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Still sounds the same, right? Highwaymen.
The Highwaymen.
The Highwaymen.
All right.
So, and that, sir, is all I've been doing.
All right. So I'm not gonna dwell too much on this because I honestly haven't been playing anything new. Mm-hmm. It's all been the Division 2. I beat the campaign, and obviously I reached the level cap. And,
nice.
And yeah, it is it is amazing for all the talk of the end game is which I don't like when people go like this. It's like, this is where the game just starts, when you reach it after you spend 40 hours. Oh, this is where the game starts to get. It's like I don't like I don't like to think of that. I think that's actually a pretty lame way of approaching a game. Mm-hmm. However, I understand. I wouldn't say that it gets better. I will say that it gets very different, and because the end game it's so different from the. I mean, you're still doing what you do in the Division. Mm-hmm. You're still taking cover, firing, but the enemies are entirely different type of enemies for the most part, and you have entirely different strategies to take them down. Mm-hmm. It's a cool dynamic. It makes it entertaining. It keeps it fresh. And also you're no longer leveling up your character. Your character, once you reach the level cap, now you're leveling up the gear, and the gear stops having levels. They have a gear score, and those gear scores will which you gain them relatively fast. It never feels like you're like grinding, even though that's what you're doing, but it doesn't feel like you're grinding in the sense that you're always doing different missions, even the missions that take place in the same areas that you might have actually played already, because they're new enemies. Like the not just the placement, but the fact that they are completely new enemies. Like this group suddenly they have like walking. They don't look like mechanical dogs almost. You know, like walking towers that or I don't know what they call him, but they make him look believable. You know, they make it feels like technology of the near future.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and you have to attack. You know, and there's ways to tackle those challenges. So it feels different, even if you're playing, let's say, on the same the same stage, basically. You know. But because the game has so many different side quests and is constantly feeding you, content to tackle, it even the grind it's still gonna be called a grind.
Yeah.
But it is not boring. Or at least to me, which again I'm not the biggest fan of those type of games. I mean, I can enjoy them, but like I never did more on Destiny 2 over the campaign only. I do want, like, I see myself, pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to get my character to a better gear score so I can play, so I can jump into the next world tier and gain the rewards from that. So see if I can actually get ready to do that raid that is out already. And yeah, that it has been it has been pretty amazing for the type of game, for the type of game that that it is. I'm enjoying it quite a whole lot. Now that said, the reason I wouldn't necessarily put it like on my list, it's there on my list so far of the games of the year, but by default, I feel like it's because there hasn't been that many games out there, out just yet. So if I were to make a top 10, then it was definitely gonna be there by default.
Yeah, gotcha.
But what upsets me a little bit about it is that think about the setting. It's DC, is 7 years after
The first one?
the green poison, what they call it, which took out pretty much a large population of the U.S., if not the world. What happened to the rest of the world is never addressed, or at least I haven't found out. But at least on the U.S., it looks like this epidemic is spread and it killed a bunch of people. For some reason, you never see, like, you see people dead on the street, but not like decomposing bodies or anything like that, as you would expect on a game like that. Like you expect to see skeletons or stuff like that. No, you normally just see people that it looked like they died on a very recent battle.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I feel like for that setting, I feel like the game has so many good opportunities to tackle, to expand on the societal breakdown.
Okay.
Basically, and they just sort of squanders it. Like, what a cool concept of not mentioning the fact that they don't touch anything that has to be political, even though this happens to be
DC,
I mean,
yeah.
you are in DC taking guns to the White House. Basically, the White House is your main base of operations.
Wow.
And they like, there is nothing, and you even battle on Capitol Hill. There's a mission that takes place inside Capitol Hill and stuff like that. And it's not that I want my games to become political, you know,
but you want them to take risks.
I kind of want them to like say something. Like, don't be so pussy, you know, don't be so lame. There's nothing like the Far Cry had the same problem. The last Far Cry,
Ubisoft has the same problem.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft games in general, even the better ones have this problem where if it is about, you know, third world countries or anything like that, of course, you know, they will talk, they will say shit. They'll be willing to,
because the third world country won't talk back, essentially. Well, you know, it's not going to say, "Oh, what are you talking about?"
It's probably not going to have a big impact on sales.
True.
Yeah, as opposed to when it comes to the US, and nothing gets, like, the last Far Cry game took place in a rural town in Montana. Thank you. And it had to do with a cult, where basically with a Christian church that was basically more like cult than anything.
And a militia,
Yeah, they had a militia. They had, you know, it had to do with like the crazy end of the world and stuff like that. And they just like that story had no bite. There was nothing interesting, you know. So same thing in The Division. I beat the story and I didn't even realize that I was beating the story because it was just cutscene, you know, plays, fireworks. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Now this new faction came in, and now every place that you have liberated is red again. You have to like re-liberate them again.
And that's the end game.
And that's it. And that's what he introduces you to the end game. Which again, the gameplay is fine. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying it, but the story is so like it's lack. It's completely like this is the shit that people criticize on Destiny. On Destiny 1, and nobody's saying anything on this on Division 2 because it almost feels like, well, of course it's not gonna have a story.
It's to be expected.
It's one of those games. Mm-hmm. Of course it's not gonna have a story, and it's Ubisoft, which means it's gonna be even less. You know, there's a thing with the president of the United States, but like who is he really? He's not even a major point in the game. Like you don't hear anything. It's like that's the part that disappoints me. That's the reason why I say, man, I'm playing this, I'm having fun, but I don't know why. Because at the end, it's not like the time. It's the gameplay loop is really fun, but which I guess at the end of the game, that's the fundamental of a good game, right?
Yeah.
Just the gameplay, nail the gameplay. Nail the gameplay. And the story becomes secondary.
And with these, nail the content as well.
Nail the content.
Which I understand that they've done better than prior.
Exponentially much better.
I think that's probably what's covering the failure of the story is the fact that it's also another light story, whatever. But hey, at least we got content this time.
At least
you know
what
I mean?
Yeah.
So, at least we got a lot things rolling in, and now we're getting raids, and now we're gonna get the next DLC and all this stuff coming right after. So.
And you almost kind of wish that the next piece of content had a little bit more to say. It becomes a little bit more interesting. Even like, dude, we're talking about an end of the world situation here, like crisis, like their families, the lost ones that were lost. So none of that get addressed. It's just this is society now. I mean, we have buildings everywhere, like with complete roofs and complete functioning electricity and stuff. But for somehow strange reason, everybody that is outside this special settlement, this special self-contained settlements, they're just evil people that have, they have guns and they're killing people, and maybe that's the message of it. Maybe it's a message about guns, about gun control, and we don't even know it. Even
guns don't kill people.
It's not even saying
people kill people.
Maybe that's the message, but even then they're not really saying it much. Because it's like your character
really
is gunning down.
That,
Your character is always gunning down. And everybody has a gun in this game, so like, what the hell? Anyway, I said I wasn't gonna go too much into it, and I went into a whole rant about it. Division 2 in stores now. I haven't played anything else, but I did watch a couple of movies, a really old one and a really new one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start with the really new one. I saw Shazam.
Yes.
Shazam. Yes.
Sir, how was it?
Mainly because it was good. Actually, it was very fun. It was very entertaining.
Okay.
This for what when I saw the trailers, I was not. It looked kind of dumb. The trailer was kind of dumb. It showed, to Sam basically doing the Fortnite dance, and the whole thing with a kid becoming Shazam. It just reminded me of Big, and throw a little bit of Superman in there, and now you have that's basically
Superman
Shazam.
meets Big.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Superman meets Big. That's Shazam. That said, the movie ended up being a little bit more entertaining, even though it looked very low budgety.
Oh wow!
Which is, I guess, it's a good thing for them because I understand the movie is doing very well.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And if it's low budget like this and it already had a good entry, then we can see.
Another one.
We can expect, the sequel, which, of course, in the typical way of this type of hero movies, they're always gonna find a way to say, oh, the stinger, Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but come on, guys, you know that there's gonna be
there's a stinger.
There's gonna be a stinger at the end. Stay and watch it. It has to basically.
Spoilers, it has to.
It has to. So the story of Shazam, which I didn't like, I don't know, like I don't know if this is the real canon of Shazam. I doubt it. I don't think this is the real canon I think this is just a take of the DCU Shazam version, which is a 14-year-old Billy Baxton. He through things that happen in the movie, he ends up inheriting the powers of Shazam.
Is that the part that you feel is not canon, or?
Well, I don't know if that's the character. Is that Shazam? Is Shazam supposed to be like a kid?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Then I take it back. Then okay, that's fine. It's just the only I've only known Shazam from the Injustice.
Yes,
a game.
The Injustice game, yeah.
And the Injustice game, he never that character never seemed to like, you never feel like, oh, this is just a kid that becomes this character. Mm-hmm. On Injustice, on the games, he's just this strong dude that looks very close like Superman, but with a lightning bolt on his. Yeah.
That's why when I saw that they were doing this movie, I was like, okay, DC EU already has kind of an issue bringing far-fetched stuff to a movie, right? This is before me seeing Aquaman, obviously, right. Because yes, I had concerns with Aquaman as well. I was like, if you can't handle, really bringing us a great Superman and a great Wonder Woman, and making it feel like it makes sense, and the Justice League and all this, I had no faith in you doing Aquaman. Aquaman turned my opinion around on that, because they instead of trying to make it real, they said, nope, we're going all as wacky as we can get, and it worked. Yeah. So now I can see them like going,
Aquaman.
Okay.
I can almost see. I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just going to. Aquaman almost feels like the Ragnarok, like Thor Ragnarok in a sense.
Exactly.
For Marvel, yeah.
And then so Shazam. So now that I know, so I'm like, okay, it makes sense. As long as they embrace its origins, and yes, like it or not, its origins are a little bit silly. You know what I mean? And if you don't embrace it, if you try to make it, too serious, it's just not going to come out right. No, you know what I mean? So it makes sense for them to do that. Yeah. Same thing with Aquaman. Hello, as a person who talks to fish, guys. This is the essence of
Aquaman needed
Aquaman.
A way to become
correct.
And I feel like, hey, they picked the right actor for it.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely. He has reinvented Aquaman.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel that it's clear they understand where they need to go with these characters. I don't know if they can bring back the other ones. You know what I mean? But at least you have two solid ones so far. You know what I mean?
I feel in Shazam, I feel like the message that they brought it was nice. It was cute. It was actually, they took the jokey, silly route, but it worked. It made it work. I like the character, like the kid that is the not particularly Shazam, the kid Shazam himself, but the his friend.
His friend, yeah.
His friend. Like he's funny, and like the cast is, for the most part, is not bad. The problem that I have is that some of the acting was pretty terrible. Like I'm talking about, yeah, this almost feels like high school picked.
High School Musical.
No, High School Musical has some talent there.
Wow. Okay.
This one feels like, yeah, this is like, how can I say this? There's a family, right? And without going into much in detail, this is a big family of foster care parents. The parents were foster kids themselves. Then they met and they got married, and they decided to adopt all these foster kids.
Okay.
So it's a big family. So that portion of the movie, it's nice. It's very touching. The problem is that the people that they picked to portray these kids are like, there's a little girl that is super adorable. Everybody else was not the best
young actors.
The young actors, in the sense that
they blew their budget on the main people.
yeah. You could tell the budget was kind of low. So the acting was very poor. Some of the words, some of the dialogue will be very stilted. Yeah. It was very poor at times.
Oh wow.
But it's okay. It's like those things that they're gonna be patched on the sequel, and the sequel is gonna be a little bit more big budgety, and it's gonna become more interesting. And when I talk about the sequel, I'm not saying it because this ends in any type of cliffhanger or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. It's another property that is rife for monetization.
Yes.
And this movie is doing very well.
Believe it or not, I was just looking up the director, which is Mr. David F. Sandberg, and he is well known when it comes to movies that can be easily monetized.
Oh yeah.
He does a lot of the horror films that happen, like Annabelle and all these other ones. Just these low budget horror films that make money, essentially.
Oh,
so he brought that formula here. So, it was like, yeah.
So maybe that's what he needed, because I don't think this is something to argue, but the DCEU needed to be a little bit more looser with its humor.
Yes, I agree.
It was a little too uppity, and it only got worse before it got better.
I don't know if I would say uppity. It was just always so dire.
It was somber. It was very,
I was like, oh man, the world, guys, I don't know. I was like, why is Superman supposed to be the light?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this beacon of hope, like his S supposed to mean, and all this stuff. And he always looks like he's just sad. You know what I mean? Or depressed.
You're the most powerful being.
Yeah. What do you have to be sad about?
You are helping everybody.
Lois Lane loves you.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
You have this. Your mom loves you. You got this beautiful farm.
Yeah.
Dude, chill out, bro. Life is okay.
I almost wish. Oh,
Dad died, but it's all right. It's all good.
It's still and your dad was Kevin Costner. So.
I know, yeah. And apparently you can see him later on in Justice League. You fly off to the
Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude, and you're just having conversations. So clearly things are okay.
Yeah,
so stop being so.
You can replicate it basically with your Kryptonian technology. I almost wish if they're gonna go a summer route, I wish they would go with the despot Superman, which they're not going to do because that's not going to sell merchandise. I get it. Fine. Yada yada. I don't want to call it the evil Superman because I don't think it's evil. Like the Superman of Injustice is not evil. It's not an evil Superman. He's just very disturbed and perturbed Superman, and it almost feels like, okay, this is not humanity depending on his powers. This is him taking over humanity, basically. Like, okay,
everybody's gonna act right now.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get the shit together and act like. I almost wish that was the storyline that they will go with Superman. Like, stop. We already had it. If you want to do something different, we already have enough of the goody two shoes Superman, and now I don't need depressing Superman here.
I can agree with that. My only issue is that since they were rebooting this, you would need to have a few of those before you got to that point. You know what I mean? So. And that's the problem. They started the other way around, where he's just this. I don't know where I belong. Who's my whatever, know. And then he works his way to now, because in Justice League, I don't know if you remember Justice League very well, but the other Justice League, he was actually a little bit more cheerful, and me even making some jokes, and I was just like, okay. Yeah. Now I don't even believe you. To this point,
it's time for things to start happening to where it would turn it a little bit and make for a really look. It's obvious that this series needs something different. They can't follow Marvel. They can't do the Avengers like they tried to do it, with Justice League and failed horribly, miserably, terribly. That stupid what's the Stratford? What the fuck was the name of the Steppenwolf?
Yeah.
The Steppenwolf. That's what terrible villain.
He's an actual villain, though. He's not fake.
No, he was terrible. He was boring. It was a dumb. You tried to do the MacGuffin with the
little squares.
With the little squares,
the mother boxes.
Exactly. Trying to do the same thing with what? Stop trying to follow Marvel. Get a fucking real identity by yourself and go a different route. Like. Make these characters be something else. So if it feels like it's too late because you're not gonna have your Batman and probably not your Superman and stuff like that. I don't know, but it's time for you to take a completely different route. The comics haven't pulled any punches on doing so. They haven't pulled any punches on doing so. They have gone some crazy routes. Own that shit. Do that. Go that route, And then if you want to have your family stories like Shazam and stuff like that, you can have them. Shazam worked very well, or well enough. If I had to rate it, it's I will probably. I mean, I enjoyed it. It'd probably be an 8. In spite of the very corny dialogue sometimes and the terrible acting of the family members and okay villain, it wasn't like there's some things that the villain does that you're like, whoa, this kind of got dark. Suddenly it's like, oh shit, wait a minute. But
all right, man. Yeah. Here's the time.
Okay.
There are actually I guess there's 7 now with Shazam. I haven't seen Shazam, so I'm not gonna include it, but it's time to rank these bad boys.
Oh,
we're just gonna do it real quick. We won't spend too long on this.
You're gonna, I'm
gonna start from the best to the worst.
Okay, because I can't do it because I have major holes that I haven't seen. Movies that I have not seen.
Really?
I have not seen Suicide Squad.
Okay, I haven't seen Shazam.
Okay. Right. There's another movie I haven't seen either.
All right, so I think you've seen them all, but here we go. So. The way I would order them, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's difficult to put which one to put first. Aquaman is kind of really right in my head right now, and that's why I kind of want to give it the edge.
Right.
But Man of Steel and Aquaman are kind of right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen Man of Steel in a little while, so I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just going to, for now.
I always want to put it first on my list, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not holding up super.
Exactly.
Super well.
That said, I will tell you one thing. I love Zod in that movie. Zod was really, really good.
Yes.
And I love the fact that they went with the whole sci-fi element.
Yes.
It felt like a sci-fi film.
Yeah, at the beginning, I love that.
Yes.
I love that version of Krypton.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it to Superman. But anyway, so they're right there. They're right there, right? Then, of course, next will be Wonder Woman. And then from there, my friend, things go really, really downhill. Okay, a distant fourth would be Justice League.
Wow.
And then even a bigger distance from that will probably be Batman versus Superman.
Oh wow.
And
I feel bad because I kind of enjoyed that movie a little bit more than, even though I realized it is terrible.
It is bad.
It is bad.
It is so bad. And then
I might have enjoyed it more than Justice League, to be honest.
From there, dude, somewhere in the pits of hell lies Suicide Squad. I mean, there's like levels between Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad. There is, dude.
I would say I'm projecting
several miles of crust of the earth. You know?
The 7th level of hell.
Yes, those are the ones that they did of the DCEU. So
if if I were to look at Shazam opportunities on your list, I'm projecting that it will probably, or Shazam is projecting to be maybe below. Where you say Aquaman was?
Aquaman's at the top.
Aquaman's at the top
with right next to again. I'm gonna put them next to each other because I know Aquaman and Man of Steel. Probably
below Wonder Woman then.
Okay.
It's gotta
but
be
above Justice League.
But definitely above Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha,
without a doubt.
Okay.
And definitely above
everything else. Yeah, everything else is
Superman. See,
okay, now rank them. Go ahead, you go.
So Man of Steel.
Okay.
Definitely. Aquaman.
Okay. That's probably how it would go to. But go ahead.
Sam.
Wow. Okay.
Then Batman versus Superman.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Wow. What am I missing? That
Wonder
is important?
Woman?
Oh fuck no! I take it back. I was
like,
all right,
damn.
Do over. Okay, so Man of Steel, Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
okay,
Shazam, and the rest.
And what's the rest? Because you still have Justice League and Batman versus Superman.
Well, Batman versus Superman, absolutely.
Is next.
It's it's
and then
next.
Justice League.
And then Justice League, yeah. And I haven't seen this other.
It's okay because the only way you can watch
Suicide Squad
is to enter the 7th level of hell, and no one wants to go down there. So
wow. You know what? It's funny. I heard Angry Joe defending this movie, saying like, "Yeah,
Suicide
it has a problem." Yes.
Oh, he has
defending
lost
like
all credibility.
It was not that. Oh, dude, if you see that video where
watch the movie. Watch the movie, and you will second guess Angry Joe on everything else he has to say about films, because there is nothing redeeming in that movie.
Really?
Not one thing.
Not even
no
Harley Quinn.
No. The Harley Quinn is more of an insult. It's just like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that's it. It is what it is. Then I guess with that.
It is.
Wow. All right. So that's the DCU. And then I've been in the process. One of the reasons I haven't been also playing a lot of things because, as you guys know, I am in the process of buying a house closer to work, and I'm glad to say that everything has been greenlit already. Everything's good. Now we're just thank you. Now I'm just waiting for closing, and I make sure that everything was set up and everything was early, and I had everything prepared. Just for that, just because I wanted to have a smooth closing, get it done. I can't delay my closing because then I go on vacation next week. That's the first thing they tell you. Do not do that when you're buying a house because the closing could be changed at any time. Shit could happen, So I am writing this like very thin razor edge, making sure that everything's on the up and up. Like I keep constant communication with everybody from the different thing. Like I call, hey team, this and that, and for them, and to be fair, they all have responded like wonderfully.
Awesome.
So for some reason, just being in that process made me think of a really old classic.
Oh boy.
Movie from Tom Hanks.
Oh my God, I already know which one it is.
And it's a Goldie Hawn? Is Goldie?
Is she? I don't know. I don't know if she's in. Is it the Money Pit?
Yes! The Money Pit.
Yes, wow.
Yes. Dude, I remember that movie from childhood.
Yeah.
That's the movie from 1986.
Wow.
And
many moons ago.
But somehow I remember, like I'm talking about a time frame where if you think my English is bad, back in the day, it was like only Zelda level of good because I could only understand enough to play Zelda and Phantasy Star.
Wow. And
those type of games. But somehow I remember like understanding everything that happened, and I remember the scenes, and almost to the point where I was watching it yesterday with my wife, who has never seen it. and it was like a nostalgia trip.
Nice.
You know, it was a nostalgia trip, and it looked great. You know, the movie. I rented it from Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And
they usually have it cheap. Those older ones. What $1.99 or something?
Actually, no. That one was the $2.99 or $3.99, something like that. It was completely regular. Like I said, I wanted to watch it for some reason. It was the appropriate movie to watch on it. I don't know why, you know, because I'm hoping not what I'm getting into.
Yeah, exactly.
All the inspections and stuff seems to say that it came out, you know, that everything's okay. Good, but that's not the way. I haven't seen the movie.
No,
that movie. It's cute. It's funny, and it's young Tom Hanks.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, in his bosom buddy days.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it reminded me of and also made me think of again, I want to call it Goldie Hawn if that's her name.
Oh.
Please verify for me because I don't want to mess it up. But like I was hugely crutching on her on this movie. To me, she is I mean, she's a beautiful lady, of course.
Shelley Long.
Shelley Long. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Not Goldie Hawn.
She's from Cheers.
She's from Cheers. Yeah, there you go. Yes,
Diane
Shelley Long. Sorry.
Cheers,
yes, sorry. I completely missed. See, I'm glad that you corrected me because I would have been like the whole thing saying Goldie Hawn.
What Money Pit is talking about?
Is she from the Golden Girls? No, that's not even true.
No.
I don't know or care to learn actors' names, so I apologize for that too, Shelley Long. But
yes.
But yeah,
an avid listener.
Yes, I listen on the podcast. Yes. So if you guys haven't seen it, I will highly recommend you to rent out the 1986 classic, The Money Pit. Great soundtrack, also.
Oh, there you go.
It has, I think, Jefferson Starship.
That's actually good shit. I'll listen to that. Yeah.
That's the only song. The heart is something. I forgot. That's all I've been doing, sir.
We are back, guys, and it is time for our Trailer of the Week. This week's trailer is a little indie title that it is in its ninth film, ninth chapter.
It came out on the Cannes Festival.
Cannes.
Yeah.
It won many awards at South by Southwest.
Yes, exactly.
And, it's making its way around Hollywood at the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's going to pick up a distributor, maybe, hopefully.
Well, opening in a few theaters.
Yes.
You know.
Locally first, and then maybe, if it takes off, it'll expand.
Exactly. Yeah. It's an indie... Oh, no, sorry. It's an independent film.
Yeah.
As opposed to an indie film.
Yes. Little title called Star Wars.
Whoa, yes.
The Rise of Skywalker. And my God, do not like that freaking name. Oh.
What are you talking about? Why?
Why are we on Skywalker? I thought the point was to let all that go.
because it's going to be found out that she is a Skywalker.
She is not a Skywalker.
The thing just spoiled it.
No.
The thing just spoiled it.
She's not a Skywalker.
But then why the name?
I don't know. She is not a Skywalker.
Spoilers for those who haven't seen episode 8. But Luke Skywalker dies in that movie. It's not the Han Solo.
I mean, to be fair, when they die when they're in the light, they're not really dead, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yoda died a long time ago, which they've been seeing him as a ghost forever.
That's true,
right?
Yeah.
So that's most likely how we will see Luke in this film.
That's the way he will rise?
Well,
maybe he will rise as a zombie.
No.
A Jedi, a zombie Jedi.
No.
We haven't gone there.
No.
They could go there.
I don't like the name.
No.
I don't like the title. I don't.
What would it be? What would it be?
I have no anything else. Anything else doesn't. It could be
Star
the rise.
Wars.
Honestly, it could just say the rise of and stop right there, and it's already better. It's already better than the rise of Skywalker.
Star Wars: The Rise of Tomb Raider.
Yes,
there you
that
go.
works. I will accept that. I will watch that.
I like that. I like the first of all, they colored the Star Wars name. You know how it's no longer the typical yellow or gold Star Wars title. Like on the last one, I think they went with red with crimson red, and I liked it. And that was The Force Awakens. No, that was that was
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Sorry, yes, The Last Jedi. Because The Force Awakens kept the gold, if I remember correctly.
It did, yes.
And now this one is.
It was being true to tradition, is what the first one was.
Yes, yes.
In many ways.
Yes, yeah, in many ways. In many ways more than one. In this one now they're going with purple or bluish or purple.
It looked blue.
It looked blue.
Oh, yeah, it looked blue.
It looked purple to me.
It didn't look purple.
It didn't look purple.
No.
Am I colorblind?
If you're not, then I am.
Now I need to check this out.
One of us is definitely.
Wait a minute. People tell me
if you saw purple.
Is this purple or is it not purple? Now I need to freaking see this for real. Hold on. It is. Oh yeah, I guess it is blue.
Okay, good.
I thought it was epic.
I started getting concerned with my eyes. I was like, shit, he's gonna be right, and I'm gonna look like an idiot now.
The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, yeah, I guess it makes sense because the red lightsaber on the previous one, and now the blue lightsaber.
It's still the same blue one.
I know.
She still has it. By the way, that sequence in the beginning where it looks like she's going to leap over a flying TIE interceptor and probably slash it in half. That already, having, okay.
That's a great way to open.
Now I like what I'm seeing, yes. I don't know what's happening. That's okay. But I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, the trailer, of course, it opens up with that scene by itself with, it's cool, but it like, I don't know. I feel like the other trailers have had more powerful scenes without going into.
This is a teaser, though.
No, well, that's true. That's true. That's another thing. This is a teaser. So yeah, I guess he worked.
And frankly, I have no desire to see any more. I'm good from here.
You're good from.
Yep. I don't want to see nothing else.
All right. Well, I will agree. I think this is enough.
Yeah.
We don't not the programming itself, because that Disney Plus is happening, and of course they're gonna milk the crap out of Star Wars with the expanded universe or whatever they want to call it.
Yep.
However, as far as big budget films, I think I also think this is it, and you get glimpses of the stuff that you want to see.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian's back.
You see Lando. Yeah, you see an older Lando Calrissian wearing.
Billy D. Williams is back.
Yeah, wearing the same clothes that he had, basically.
Evidently.
I hated that from the last movie with Han Solo, with Han dressed up in exactly the same way that he was dressed up when he was like, okay, this as to say these people are from space, and so in space you have a uniform that you use all the time.
You buy 15 of the same shirts,
yeah,
pants and boots,
yeah,
and that's how you. Unless you're a Princess Leia, then you have to wear different things.
Then gold bikini,
and everything. Yes.
Notwithstanding, yes, different.
Although I think that was her choice to put on, but yes,
I think that. Also, at the very end, I don't understand that part that they keep looking is supposed to be like
the Death Star. Looks like the wreckage of the Death Star.
It really, you get that from that?
Oh yeah, that portion right there. By the way, this is great for audio listeners, but there's a portion that appears to be the disc portion that shot out.
If you look at the trailer at the 1:39 mark, 1 minute 39 second mark, I guess, yeah, maybe.
That's the moment I saw it. That's the first thing I thought it was.
That is.
I hope that's what it is, because now, if
it makes sense. It'll make perfect sense. Yeah, I feel like. So is this supposed to be like, if you tell me you look at this planet, this is freaking Endor?
No.
I mean, what else would it be?
Well, remember, it's an explosion. It can fly God knows how far. It's a wreckage.
But it should be Endor. If this was because remember, the Death Star was so close to Endor that the idea should have been that, hey, this moon-sized planet or satellite explodes, it should cause catastrophic damage to the ecosystem of this planet.
Most likely.
Although this luscious planet that we used to be.
We saw the ending of Return of the Jedi, and they're having a celebration after. After
True.
So clearly it didn't do anything to it. So.
Well, then it could be that. Remember, it's a planet. It could be just that region and the damage. Who is to say that after the
Now we're in the weeds here, guys.
I know this is like super nerdy territory, which is what we specialize. After that celebration, the next day when he was trying to clean up,
day 2 wasn't as good as
suddenly
day 1.
Exactly, because suddenly like, oh shit, like the temperature is a lot warmer now than it used to be. Like, what the hell?
Is that lake bigger than it was before?
Is that a lake or a pit of fire?
Yeah, it's like
of lava.
I don't think this is Endor, sir.
Yeah,
and
it should be Endor. Honestly, if it
is a moon-sized space station that blows up, it's conceivable that debris went everywhere.
True.
And this could just be.
But also, it's conceivable that debris landed on this part of Endor, and maybe Endor is fine, but this part is fucked up.
Or it could be another planet. What difference does it make? Why does it have to be
Endor? It makes a difference to me.
Are you wanting to see Ewoks? Is that what it is?
No, quite the opposite. I want confirmation that all of them are freaking dead. Like they're done. That's what we get. That's what more likely we're getting here. If I had to.
I'm gonna go on the record as saying I don't think this is Endor.
Okay, I'm gonna say that yes, this is Endor because it makes no sense to say, oh, he landed on Jupiter. It turns out he landed, even though Jupiter is just a gas giant.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah, in the future they'll figure out. Oh wait, there is actually a planet underneath. This.
Yeah, and it has oxygen like every planet in Star Wars. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And gravity, perfect gravity. I
thought it was good. I thought the trailer was good to kind of get you excited. I am not happy with it clearly holding on to stuff
to the Skywalker.
The name kind of hints.
Oh no, the end. We're gonna talk about the end of the trailer because that's the part where I went a little bit like ridiculous. That's the part where I really went like.
What was the end? Because I already forgot what was it.
Dude. Who laughs? What laughs do you hear at the very end of the teaser?
I don't know if that's. I guess it's supposed to be Palpatine.
That's what is inferring. That's what is strongly suggesting.
I remember Palpatine's laugh from the Return of the Jedi, and it didn't sound like that. So,
dude, no. So, obviously, it's not gonna be the same, but it's very strongly. Like, it would be ridiculous for it to be something like what is it gonna be? They need a big this is the closing of this trilogy, and they already killed Snooki or whatever the hell his name was.
Yes, but here's the deal:
who else are they gonna bring?
The problem is this: if you kill, the purpose of killing Snoke was to say, "Hey, we're going a different direction with this. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be what it is that that you're expecting, right?"
You seem to be forgetting that this is Disney.
And yes, and now I'm about to join Judy in saying, you know what, I just might wait for Prime on this because
no,
I'm
you're
like,
not. You know
what the
not.
hell? No, because my deal is to say that that was the purpose, right? So you literally got rid of Snoke, and now you're just gonna implant the Emperor back.
Yes.
Why not keep Snoke? He was already doing fine as Emperor. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know. But that's what I'm saying is. As ridiculous as it sounds, they wouldn't put that for nothing.
My excitement is definitely it's really starting to go down.
Hey, that's fine. You still gotta be first in line to watch it.
Only because you're gonna drag me there.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If you don't want to watch it, this is gonna be the first one I'm gonna be like, you know what? Fine. You have turned into a bitter hater because you don't want to see Marvel's the Avengers, the next Avengers. You don't want to see Endgame. And you don't want to see
Endgame. Yeah. I just, again, like I said, they were, oh man, dude, the potential for something amazing, different, and just oh man, just good. Just like,
I'm not arguing
a different take, and just saying, you know what, the world is bigger than the Skywalker lineage. You know what I mean? And the universe is bigger than the Skywalker lineage. And to just go back, and now you're gonna bring the Emperor back. I
don't argue that. That sounds ridiculous. No. I get that. I agree with that. But if you're expecting, if you're expecting the unexpected, I think you're giving too much credit to Disney, and what they have given us so far is that they will regurgitate like crap just for fan, just for fan.
I get that. And
service.
And the problem here's the problem. What I think is that The Last Jedi was very divisive.
Yeah.
Okay, you had a huge camp that loved it. You had a huge camp that hated it.
Yeah.
Literally call it the worst movie ever.
Yeah.
And then you have this large population who were confused, who didn't know. Like, I don't know. And there's
I feel like there was, however, like a agenda behind the hate, behind the majority of the hate.
Oh no, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure there was.
It didn't have anything to do with hey, the movie was bad. More like, hey, I don't like this female character. Let's be real.
You can probably do that. You can also say they were like, "Hey, where's my Luke? That's not my Luke.
That's not my Luke."
I'm like, come on, guys. You know what I mean? So I think that has
the feminist agenda
has forced the hand of the divisiveness. Has forced it because Disney just wants everyone to love Disney. Right? And they want everyone to come and go, "Oh, it's the best movie. It's a 9, a 9."
So how do you do that?
That's the problem. That's why I mean,
for the lowest common denominator, the people that are gonna be like, "Oh wow, oh my God, the Emperor is back! Holy shit!" That's the people that
so
Disney
you're not
catering.
You're not selling me on this movie.
I am not trying to sell you on it.
I know.
To be
I'm
honest,
just saying.
we are gonna watch it regardless because it is it's the closing one and it's freaking Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch it for that.
I'm starting to think that Anna is the trailer of the week. So I'm just saying.
You can give it to Anna. If you're
like. It's the trailer of the week. Thank you.
But
Thank you, Judy.
This is the divisive movie.
It's becoming very divisive.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm like, oh, the more I analyze what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, I'm just like, yeah, my excitement is not there now.
Because you are usually very capable of tempering your expectations. I don't want you to be disappointed with what it's gonna come here because I bet that Disney will go that route.
I mean, there was already, and I posted it. There was already and it's convenient. How convenient that came out. I posted this earlier in the week saying that J.J. Abrams, or I think not J.J. Abrams, the director of The Last Jedi, is okay if they retcon some information from The Last Jedi. And the moment, literally days after that comes out, boom, here comes the trailer. Boom, the Rise of the Skywalker. And I'm going, oh my God.
And not only that,
they have literally said, hey, just so you know,
it could go.
It could
go even worse. It could go even worse.
They are definitely.
She could be the Skywalker that we're talking about, which is exponentially worse because it goes back to the stupid trope of Star Wars of everybody in this vast universe. Everybody's related to everybody, and that is something that I totally expect Disney to do. Like I wouldn't be surprised, and I will be disappointed, and I'll be the first one to say I will take freaking Jar Jar Binks Star Wars movie over this piece of crap at the end of pulling that shit.
In the end, it's going to be J.J. Abrams. It will probably not be a bad film.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Be entertaining.
It's just the direction they're going to go, and it's going to feel like a clear U-turn. It's like nope, or overcorrection. It's like let's correct the path and. Well,
my
trailer of the week,
Star Wars,
guys.
and what happens with this big, super, super huge ass thing is that these companies are not gonna take risks. They're just not gonna take risks with the property. So you're not gonna see crazy betrayals. That thing. That's a thing of the past. Those movies are done. Now it's all about selling you the merchandise. And if Rey was to turn, they're not gonna have a Rey that turns to the dark side. They're not gonna have they're
probably gonna have the redemption of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, the redemption of Kylo Ren is totally
that's the whole deal.
That happened already.
Now that we have an emperor. Oh
my God! Would you imagine?
Exactly. It's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
dude. No, my trailer of the week.
No, we already said it was gonna be this. So
a distant second was.
Wow.
It's not.
I want to record this. Actually, conveniently, it's getting recorded as a podcast.
Yes.
Because I want to see your reactions when the movie ends up being amazing and it completely, play with our expectations,
then that's amazing.
That would be amazing. Yes. It'll be.
It's still actually the trailer because it's very cool. Like I said, it's a very cool thing. The whole Lando thing, though, I'm like, really?
Yeah. Again,
let go of the past.
Yes.
Again, okay, that we don't have Lando. Anyway,
there you go. Star Wars movie
is the trailer of the week.
Shyamalan.
Real quick, I'm just gonna fly through the. Actually, I'm just gonna go right to our fresh pick.
You're gonna be like, screw it.
A little bit over on time here, and I do want to sink my teeth into the hot topic of the week.
I wanted to hear about the crazy
but
titles.
I think the fresh pick this week is gonna go to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice coming to Switch.
Aww.
Switch users, rejoice! You have yourself an awesome game now.
Suddenly this. Well, true. Yes, it is a good game. But suddenly this segment just became lame.
Okay, well I can mention a few. Sure.
Give me some funny names.
All right, we'll get a couple here. Assault of the Robots is coming to PC.
There you go.
30 Days to Survive also coming to PC.
All right.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is actually coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
Oh wow! See, that's
that's
something that people would like to know.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Dangerous Driving comes to PlayStation 4,
and that's
Xbox
a Burnout type game.
Yeah, there you go.
His how would you say that? A spiritual successor
to Burnout. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, in spirit, not name.
Okay.
To Burnout 3, not Burnout Paradise.
Vacation Simulator. So no, you don't get to go on vacation. It's just a simulation, guys.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Cook, Serve, Delicious 2. Because there was a
Japanese title.
Yes. Sure.
Cook, Serve, Delicious 2.
Oh man, Royal Roads comes to PlayStation 4. Metaverse Keeper comes to PC. Way of the Passive Fist comes to Switch.
Oh, I get it. The Passive Fist. Get it?
Yes. Yes. Well done. No. Back to Bed comes to Switch. Tiny Tracks comes to PC. Doggy Ninja: The Golden Mission comes to Switch.
See? There you go. That's where you get your golden games.
Okay,
right there. See?
Sure. And the last one, guys, Hot Lap Heroes.
Hot Lap Heroes?
Comes to PC and Mac. Hot Lap
There
Heroes.
You go. Oh, Hot Lap. Okay.
So yes, Hot Lap Heroes sounds like
sounds like a stripper simulation.
Stripper simulation. They take over the world.
Lap Dance Hero. Where is that title? Lap Dance Hero.
Well, they can't now.
And what is the controller for that?
Oh my God, we don't need to know that. We do not need to know what the controller.
It's just a pole. It's a pole. That's it. What the hell
but
are you
it's
thinking?
Lap Dance Hero, not Pole Dance Hero.
Yeah, but they don't want to call it Stripper Hero.
That's why they call it Hot Lap Hero.
Hot Lap.
Oh man. All right, guys.
Terrible.
First news piece.
All right, you go.
Microsoft Spring Sale brings the best deal of the year on Xbox Games Pass.
Oh.
Microsoft annual Spring Sale popped up on Friday, which is today, bringing deals on Xbox One consoles and games, including the best deal of the year on Xbox Game Pass. New and returning Xbox Game Pass users can snag a 3-month membership for just $1. The Xbox Game subscription service usually costs $9.99 per month, though Microsoft often offers the first month at $1. Microsoft recently added Prey to its library of over 100 Xbox One and Xbox 360 games, with Monster Hunter World coming as well. And here's a couple highlights on some of the spring sales. Xbox One X 1 terabyte Fallout 76 bundle is $3.99, guys.
There you go. Oh wow, It went up in price again.
The same Xbox One white console with an extra controller is $4.99.
Wow. that price.
Wow.
That price of that bundle gets more incredible.
I almost want one just to say, hey, I paid not that much.
Right, exactly. And it came bundled with a shitty game.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to talk about that. As I mentioned, the 3-month subscription, of course, is $1 for 3 months. That's $29 off, guys.
Soggy, $1.
The Division 2, $53.99. FIFA 19 for $24. NBA 2K19 for $24. Hitman 2 for $47. Jump Force for $41.99. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 for $35.99.
All right, so I'm gonna bring it back because we just saw the trailer for the Last Skywalker. Oh no, wait a minute. It was Skywalker Awakens.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what it
is. Okay. So we saw the episode Star Wars Episode 9 teaser trailer. So Star Wars movies to go on hiatus after Episode 9. So the November launch of the Disney Plus streaming service will see an aggressive push by Walt Disney's company to bring the Star Wars franchise to the small screen in live action. Well, actually, in live action with The Mandalorian and Rogue One spin-off. CEO Bob Iger signaled this week that the movies are on hold for the foreseeable future. After the Thursday announcement of Disney's Plus, Iger told Bloomberg Television that there are no specific plans for movies after Star Wars Episode 9, though a number of unannounced films were in development.
Okay.
We will, and the quote says, "We will take a pause, sometime and reset." He said, because the Skywalker saga comes to an end with its 9th movie. I love that. Or I don't know how I feel, I should say, about the fact that they're calling it the Skywalker saga. Like, then what the hell was the previous saga? What they call that?
I don't know, sir.
The Anakin saga.
He's Anakin Skywalker, isn't he?
I know, right? Well, man, I'm confused. And then it continues. There will be other Star Wars movies, but it will be in a bit of a hiatus. So Star Wars Episode 9 is set for release December 20th of 2019. Completes an arc which begins with George Lucas' 1977. Yeah, you know the Star Wars universe. So good news, I would say. If you recall, not too long ago when they started announcing like, oh yeah, we're gonna have not only. But now that Disney acquired Star Wars, we're going to have a Star Wars movie every year, and it's going to start with Rogue One, which I dislike the idea, but I ended up liking, Rogue One. And then we're going to have a movie about Solo, and then we're going to have a movie about Kenobi, and then we're going to have a movie about freaking the Ewoks and, Save Christmas or whatever the hell. And it sounded ridiculous because it is unsustainable. Yeah. We were asking for, even though we still get a freaking Marvel movie every year.
We get several every year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How come that's very sustainable still?
Honestly, because it's leading up to this Endgame. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I already feel that after this, I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think people are going to be like.
Yes. Exactly.
But it'll still make money.
If they're good movies, they're going to make money.
They're still going to bring,
I just don't think it's going to be as exciting. And I won't be because I'm like, you've already done
I think
the impossible.
What
else
can
you do now?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to, I don't care about the next, what the hell is going to be the next mega, evil. And what's going to be that story arc. Who cares, really?
Yeah. It's obviously they're going to win, right?
Well, they're going to try. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
yeah, exactly. So it's good to hear that at least with Star Wars that and I have to imagine this was after the abysmal way that Solo performed. The Solo movie was not terrible when I saw when everything when accounting for everything, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great either. And it was completely unnecessary. That story, that's the mystery of Han Solo did not need to be unveiled, and the mystery of none of the other characters needed to we didn't need to have a biography of each character now, which is what I assume Disney was thinking before they realized oh yeah, turns out Star Wars is not you can't be milking this cow indefinitely.
Exactly. It's not going to. It's literally not sustainable. It's not going. Interest will wane.
Yeah. As it started already with you.
That's their fault. Shit.
Just because of a title, who would have thought?
No, it's not. It's
Guacamole.
not that. It's not the.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
But no, go ahead.
I was gonna say. Go ahead and explain because
no, it's not the title. It's the fact that it feels like, and the title kind of hints at this, that they are correcting the last film. When to me, the last film didn't need correction. If you wanted to correct something from the last film, correct the entire casino thing. Don't bother with stupid stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Other than
it's
that,
too late for that because they posted it. They released it like that.
Obviously, yeah. But I'm saying is correct that on your next one. Don't include stuff that just doesn't mean anything in the end. Sure, you know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, moving on. My next piece, guys. The PlayStation customers can finally update their PlayStation Network IDs.
Oh, that happened.
Yes, a long-awaited feature that Sony announced all the way back in October finally came this Wednesday. As previously noted by Sony, the option to change your PSN name comes with a few caveats.
Oh, I would say more than a few.
Yeah. Yes. According to Sony, at least 10 games have known critical issues as a result of the name change.
And some of them very recent games, too.
Including Sony published titles like Everybody's Golf, Little Big Planet 3, and some MLB The Show games. Those critical issues include losing progress in games or toward PlayStation trophies and losing in-game currency earned or paid associated with those games. Other games that don't fully work with the PSN online change feature include Bloodborne, Uncharted 4, Thief's End, Grand Theft Auto 5, The Last of Us, NBA 2K19,
what? Grand Theft
Warframe.
Auto 5 does not work?
Oh, wow. The issues related to those titles and others include less serious problems like previous online ID display. The previous online IDs displaying and game initializing to their default state. Full game of lists is available, of course, on the PlayStation website. Changing your PlayStation ID is free the first time, and Sony is going to be charging $9.99 every time after that.
Okay. Every time after that. So does that mean that every time they change it, there is a risk? Or does that mean... I guess it don't matter because once it happens...
Yeah, once you change anything, you're already in the risk of it. Now, if you don't play any of these games and you obviously don't care about it, then you'll be fine. Future games should already have the feature, hopefully, implemented into the games, you know what I mean? That it's not going to be that big a deal, but we'll see.
But the concern here is... I was not expecting... I was expecting... I heard about... I think Last of Us, it was one of them that I expect that I heard that was going to have problems. But I did not expect GTA 5, especially when that multiplayer aspect is huge on PlayStation.
The problem... Remember, it's a lesser-known issue with that particular game. It could just be... your old name is actually still showing when it should be your new name.
Yeah. Well, I guess that wouldn't be that terrible because it'll be terrible that, you lost all your purchases because they were tied to, you know what I mean?
That would definitely anger millions.
Right. I mean, good for them to finally allowing that. And I guess from now forward, games, like you said, games are going to be designed with that freedom in mind. But my God, they weren't kidding when they said it's not that we don't want to do it, is that it is freaking hard. It's problematic.
Unfortunately, the way they originally made it, it just got baked in. Yeah. And there's just no way around it.
Not the best way. Not the best way. I apologize. I should actually just put all these things together into one big Star Wars piece of news. There was some information that got out about Star Wars Jedi Fallen. See, they could do better subtitling, I guess. That's the game from Respawn Entertainment. NEA. Respawn Entertainment, NEA. They said that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, sorry, that's the full title. Fallen Order won't have multiplayer or microtransactions.
Oh God, I don't care. Wow. I mean, no, I get it. People should know. I get it. I'm just saying. That's my. Dude. I am so disconnected from EA. It's just like I don't care. The most
jaded that I've heard you. The most jaded that I heard you. First, I agree. I agree with EA. Yeah. I agree with the EA. However, wouldn't you at least take some sense of like feel good or something in knowing that, hey, well, at least they're not bastardizing, Respawn next game. Not only are they making a single player game, which from the maker of one of, if not, well, this I will go down the same because there have been good games like Half-Life with Portal, stuff like that, but one of the best first-person shooter games. I want to keep it to this generation, all right? I don't want to make it for this generation. One of the best first-person shooters, Titanfall 2, and yes, I am dead ass serious. That campaign was awesome. It was intuitive. It had different things. It was not just run and gun, and it had a cool story. It's not like the best or anything like that, but it had a cool story. It has interest. It was interesting.
Yeah.
And so they are working on a Star Wars title, and we were all afraid of the fact that it's EA because, of course, microtransactions and all that shit.
I wasn't afraid.
We expected it.
Yeah, I was expecting.
Yeah. Again, Respawn brought us Apex, which, say what you will, is an EA title. You have played it, and you can recognize that it is a well-made multiplayer game, and that's their monetizing game that they're going to be using. That's free to play, so they did it right. And now, again, it seems to be hitting it out of the park with at least saying, "Hey, don't worry, this is not going to have microtransactions, not even going to have multiplayer, because that's not the type of game we're doing. We're doing a single-player ass game, which means that all hands on decks are working on making a possibly a solid single player, or it could be, it could be because they're not wasting resources on making a multiplayer aspect of it. They have Apex, who cares, They're still EA. I get it. I get you that, but at least hearing that they can't touch Respawn, it feels good.
Honestly, it almost feels like they can't touch Respawn. Because really, what else do you have?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's not a place you want to be at. You know what I mean? It's like Sony when it comes to what is it? Oh my God, Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Sony's like, do whatever you want. You guys are always doing great. You know what I mean? And they have several companies that are doing. They're just literally out there just printing money for Sony. Here you go. Here's some money, Sony. Here you go. These guys are literally they're down to their last golden goose.
Yes.
And their last golden goose, BioWare, I don't know if you read the entire Jason Schreier piece.
I did.
Things are not
BioWare is dead. BioWare is dead.
Things are not going well there, and I am afraid that Respawn may get to that point, especially if you're going to have unrealistic expectations put on you, because guess what? We need you because we ain't got nobody else. You know what I mean? The sports games, they're gonna do their thing, but we need you guys. We need you to focus, and we need you to work 155 hours this week and every week after this, please. If that's okay.
That's perfect. That's perfectly fine.
The problem that's not fine. That's the problem. They're going to burn out, and we may end up with a half-baked game.
What I'm saying is that I believe with the bandwidth of Respawn, which is not great because they're not a huge, they're not a big studio. However, all the games since Titanfall 1, which was it was good. I liked it, but I'm not gonna say it was like the best game or anything like that. However, it was solid and well made, and it didn't crash and yada yada. That might be their last last studio, but with the output that they have brought, they brought Titanfall 2, which we might have not said, but it was not because it was a bad game, because again one of the best first person shooter.
But that was before they were owned by EA.
No, Titanfall 2.
No. But before Respawn was owned by EA.
No, Titanfall 2 was with EA.
What that was with EA?
Yes, that was with EA.
I thought the purchase of Titanfall 2.
Purchase of. All right, so
they were not.
So there were. So there were partners. I see what you're saying.
Okay,
yeah. They were like.
Now they're owned by.
Now
EA.
they're owned.
Yes.
Now they're owned by EA. They brought Apex Legends. I think that they deserve the benefit of the doubt.
And you know what? You're right. I should give
because if there's companies,
I should give Respawn the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. However, I cannot give EA the benefit of the doubt.
But you gave it to Bethesda.
What do you mean I give it to Bethesda?
You gave it to Bethesda. Bethesda, you boycotted Bethesda at one point.
And I already boycotted them again.
I know.
Already,
exactly. So the fact that you boycotted again, it automatically means that they redeemed themselves at some point.
They appear to have redeemed themselves.
Yes.
Because, and to be fair, I didn't come back because I wanted to. You bought a game for me.
No. It wasn't because of that game that Bethesda redeemed themselves. You liked that E3 presentation through and through.
Which one?
The last two that they have had.
The last one was good. The Fallout 4 was the really one. I was like,
Fallout 4. You played Fallout 4. You like Fallout 4.
But that was already after Wolfenstein.
Yeah, don't tell me that I brought you to Wolfenstein.
Yes, it is. You got me Wolfenstein. Sure. You literally got me.
I did because you needed to play. Because I was like, okay, Bethesda, did wrong, but goddamn, this game is great. He cannot just go without playing this game.
Fair enough. But realistically, when it comes to this, I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. I have a vote of zero confidence with anything that comes from them. And that last article regarding BioWare solidified that. It's like the moment you become part of that particular organization, you are doomed. Yeah. It may not happen this year, it may not happen, but you're on a timeline. The clock has now started, and it will get to the end. And I hate to say it, but I just feel that Respawn's going to reach that point too. And I hope it doesn't happen with this one. But tell me, think of last year's EA conference. What do we see of this game that they're showing, that they're going to be presenting to us this weekend? As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be tomorrow. Nothing. They
nothing.
Literally interview somebody in the audience.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, tell us about your game.
That's fine. They did the same thing.
What is that?
They did the same thing with Apex Legends. What did we see about Apex Legends on E3? Nothing. It wasn't even mentioned. Apex Legends just came out of nowhere.
Apex Legends is an anomaly, sir. Seriously. No, I'm sorry.
Just like Titanfall 2 was an anomaly. Titanfall
that wasn't an anomaly. That was actually a good game. What I'm trying to say is the anomaly part is that it's a good game that does well.
I think, listen, don't get me wrong. In no way I want this to come up as me defending EA. Fuck EA. They are a terrible company. They're the worst. I get that 100%. I'm talking about Respawn and the stuff that Respawn has done as opposed to BioWare. Everything that
BioWare had their heyday.
That's fine.
Yeah, yes, they had their moments where they were doing
great. But you cannot judge them for what happened to another.
I'm not judging them. I'm simply saying the common denominator here is EA.
It's the fact that they have. But you're saying, well, because they're gonna suck in the future. That's what I'm hearing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying most likely they're gonna suck in the future.
You're saying the same thing.
No, it's not.
There's a chance that they're gonna suck.
No.
Therefore,
the chances are.
Fuck this game.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying chances are this is gonna be a half-baked game because they rushed it out.
You're basing that on what?
On everything else that EA does.
Dude, but
it's everything. If it was 1, 2, maybe 3, sure. But look at the track record. I have zero, dude.
But look at
zero confidence.
Look at Respawn track record.
Look, I get it. I get that Respawn is great, but they are going to get rammed into the ground. Why? Because that's what EA does.
Well, you know what? And if they got run,
and they're a smaller team, mind you.
And if they got run, first of all, EA cannot afford to be messing up with the formula of Respawn because so far it's working. Now I get it. EA is dumb. They probably could fuck it up. I get that. That said, that what you have right there.
Yeah. You're gonna have a follow up note for that. But that what you said right there, that's what's left. That's completely left me jaded when it comes to anything.
Then you're being
anything that has come from there. Because yes, I do play Apex Legends. Do you know what? I can still count the times I played on one hand.
Fine. It's not your type of game.
And I'm still not going to go back. I'll go back if somebody asks, sure. And eventually I'm going to end up moving it off the thing.
But you have to recognize that even if it's not your type of game, when you play with people, you have fun. And that is a very, not an okay game. That is a very well fucking game. Came out from day one with millions of players playing suddenly. And somehow the servers didn't even took a hit. Because the thing was solid.
I get it. They did everything fine. Yeah. I get it.
So now imagine that power. Imagine that level of they put into a single player title. It has the potential to be good. Like if I was a betting man, I would say, you know what, EA sucks, but I bet this game's gonna be good.
Okay.
You know,
I would agree.
Yeah.
That it has the potential of being good.
Yeah.
But most likely it won't be. Because
most likely it won't be. So you're saying
most likely
you're saying it has a bigger chance of being bad.
Yes, I do.
That's your 100%. That's your stand.
I'm standing. Yes.
So you see,
it has a bigger chance of being bad because of the source where it's coming from. Unfortunately,
it's like what I'm. It's what I'm saying.
The history speaks for itself.
It's what I'm saying. You are judging. Respawn. Yeah. There you go. And finally, we came to full circle.
No, I'm not judging Respawn. So I take that back. No, I'm not judging Respawn at all. At all.
No,
I'm not. I'm not judging Respawn at all. I'm just saying anything that EA touches, dude. And yes, I can already see that that's probably going to happen with Apex, unfortunately, as well, because apparently it's not hitting the numbers that he used to hit before. But we'll see what happens with that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad that you are excited about the potential of a Star Wars game.
Dude, I'm excited about hearing, hey, guess what? EA can't even put microtransactions or multiplayer on this game. They can't do that. They can't do it.
They did it on the Battlefront 2. Great.
Yeah, they did it on Battlefront 2. And look what happened. They can afford. That's my point. They cannot afford to do it. They don't want to have another Battlefront 2. That's what I'm saying.
Sir,
they can't.
I'm sorry. I have zero confidence, sir. Seriously, zero confidence.
This is gonna be. This is probably could have the potential of being a kick-ass Star Wars game.
It probably
a 9, out of 10.
I don't think it will.
And you're gonna be like, nope. This is Respawn, bro.
It doesn't matter. I would not buy it anyway. It was a 10 out of 10. It is from EA. I am not buying it. That's how a boycott works.
But yes, but you're not saying I'm gonna boycott. I mean, you're not just saying that. You're saying, oh, this game is gonna suck.
Yeah, I believe it will. I believe that it's going. Something's gonna happen. It's gonna be short on something. They're gonna forget to put in the second half of the game, and they'll sell it to you later as a Respawn, DLC.
If I was a betting man, and I have been, and I have won, I would say, and I would put you to play another bad game. I would say that is probably not going to
play that game because I'm pretty sure that'll be bad.
So if it ends up being great,
I'm just kidding.
Then,
that last part is
if it ends up being, you know what? If it ends up being a great game, you need to buy it. That's my bet. And if I lose, I need to buy something horrible that you're gonna tell me. Let's just put it. Let's just throw gauntlet.
All right.
All right. So we're writing it down.
Yes.
Okay.
A gentleman's agreement.
We're writing it down.
Yes.
Oh shit.
If it turns out,
we went back to our old way.
Yes, I know.
We're betting again.
Yeah, we are betting.
Sir, if I win this one, you can't do this again. I'm not gonna allow you to do this again. I think you have a betting problem.
Do I? Because I didn't say I wanted to bet.
But you accepted it.
Well, hey.
Just like the last 2 times.
Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Sekiro. It's all about just accepting the challenge, guys. Accepting the challenge.
All right, so rule my terms. What should I be playing then? I will. You will. What should I be doing?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Okay, all right. It's gonna be an open check then. It's gonna be an open check. You have to. You have to play.
You have to play Anthem for at least 100 hours.
Oh shit! No, come on. Let's be reasonable.
All right.
I'll pay $60 for a bad game.
I wouldn't do that. as much as I would enjoy that, I would not do that.
Okay, this is the topic of the week. We're done. Let's go ahead and close out. Thank you for listening, guys. GG's the real episode. So whatever. GG.
Oh man!
Oh
All
my
right,
God,
I'm just gonna.
that was good. That was just good. That was just good. No, don't rush it. Come on,
No,
you
no,
take
no.
whatever.
I'm gonna jump real quick into my news piece here.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So Disney, we're still on freaking Disney.
We're still talking about Star Wars. God,
Disney
bless America.
finally announced more details for its streaming service Disney Plus.
Okay.
While it will already boast the entire Disney motion picture library and hopefully many of its zany sequels, Disney is gearing up for some original exclusive streaming content and taking full advantage of its third-party properties. Notably, Disney seeks to expand the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Disney Plus titles, particularly popular characters who don't and likely won't have their own standalone movies will get a Disney Plus show. So far, here are some of the titles. These are the ones that are announced. WandaVision is, as the title implies, the show will feature Wanda Maximoff, played by Elizabeth Olsen, and Vision, which is played by Paul Bettany, excuse me. And the relationship will reportedly be one of the highlights. Tentatively, this will take place pre-Avengers Infinity War, unless both these heroes are resurrected. Sorry, sir.
Oh my God! I made me spill my beer.
My bad.
Right
sir.
on.
My bad.
Oh my God.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier, another two who, if you saw Infinity War, were phased away.
Yes.
So, Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson team up, and of course, it will star Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie. Have long discussed a possible team up between two Captain America closest allies. At the end of Avengers Infinity War, both of them were snapped by Thanos, so this also might be a
I
prequel.
love that. They were snapped. Man, if you were to give me a superpower,
I tell you, yeah.
Snap everything.
And then, of course, we heard about this one
Snappy
before.
A.
Loki. Tom Hiddleston returns to the role of Loki for this miniseries.
Oh, wait a minute. Loki was super dead, though.
Was he, though?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think no one's died. Let's be real.
Let's be real.
And then
Disney.
and then you ask about my excitement when it comes to Endgame. It's like, well, what do you want from me, dude?
To finish this fight.
This is what I do. I stop at the very end.
Yes,
This is my method.
This is going to be very frustrating.
Don't question my method, sir. Oh, man. Additionally, certain Marvel films will be available on the platform. Captain Marvel, Iron Man 3, and the list goes on and on, guys. Two docuseries called Marvel 616, and a Marvel Hero Project is also in the works. So we're basically going to see most of these people come back.
Disney, yeah.
Let's be real.
At the end, yeah, Disney Plus. Sir, will you be subscribing to Disney Plus?
I have like no choice, sir. I think they have the. I think they've literally painted me into a corner here.
You should be boycotting Disney.
I should after that freaking trailer of the week, but no.
Oh, that's
I think
funny.
they announced the price, and I think it was actually pretty affordable.
It was like $6.
Yeah. Wow, I thought it was like $7.99. That's even better.
I heard I heard reports it's going to be less than $6. So I was like $6. Then $5.99. Let's be real. Or maybe it's less than $7. $6.99.
Maybe.
It may be.
But still, if that's the case,
yeah,
I have no reason not to. You know,
that's what they do. My wife told me, "Oh, that's how they do. They're gonna get everybody on the door, and then little by little, they're gonna Netflix it out. You know,
although
it's
to be fair,
$7.
Netflix has earned its keep, as far as I'm concerned.
That's true. Yeah, they do have the content to. Yeah. So I don't even know how to take this next piece of news. No, it's not Star Wars anymore. But it is very creepy. And I don't know what's going on here. So Activision Blizzard, speaking of creepos, Activision Blizzard pays employees $1 per day to share their pregnancy data.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man?
What is this? I literally read the thing and I was just like,
what is this? A report from the Washington Post found Activision Blizzard has been incentivizing employees to give their data to Ovia Health, an organization that offers a range of family planning and pregnancy tracking services. Companies can pay Ovia Health to access the aggregate data of their workers, which, according to the Washington Post, runs from trying to conceive months to early motherhood. The information can be accessed that can be accessed include how many workers have faced high-risk pregnancies, have given birth prematurely, their medical questions, the medical questions they research, and the planned length of their maternity leave.
Mm.
For each day of use, employees reportedly receive roughly the equivalent of $1. They say 76 pounds. Gift card from Activision. And the company then, in turn, gets to view the combined anonymous statistics. Although Activision Blizzard stresses the program is voluntary, the financial incentives have clearly convinced many soon-to-be mothers to share their data, with one employee explaining the bonus help provide diapers and formula money. Activision Blizzard claims the scheme is popular and have saved the company roughly $1,200 per employee in their annual medical cost. Speaking to the Washington Post, Activision Blizzard's vice president of global benefits said the program is part of an attitude shift towards sharing private information with the company. Employees initially raised concerns over the privacy with the company when the company introduced a Fitbit tracking in 2014. But since then, the company has also offered financial incentives for tracking mental health, sleep, diet, autism, and cancer. And as Art says, workers are now more comfortable with sharing their data. Now, there was a quote here that was kind of disturbing in the way that it was put. Like it started out well, and then it went like completely like, wait, what? And it was that it says people's sensitivity has gone from, hey, Activision Blizzard is a big brother, to, hey, Activision Blizzard really is bringing me tools that can help me out, as Art said. In his statement, however, points to the true nature of the program as a cost-saving exercise. I want them to have healthy babies. No, sorry. I want them to have a healthy baby because it's great for our business experience. Rather than having a baby who is in neonatal ICU and she's not able to focus much on work, he felt like it needed to be added.
Wow.
That in itself is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the whole point of this is like, hey, we want you to have a healthy baby because we don't want you to have to be worried about, a prematurely born baby, an intensive care, because obviously you're not going to be concentrated on your job. That's the bottom line of it. It is. I mean, the report goes into more detail, but it is highly disturbing. I mean, here's the problem that I have with programs like this, for the most part, is that the moment you're willing to share that information with your employee, you don't know the real reason they're using that. Like they could be using that to duck yourself, like to basically be what's the word when you have prejudice, when you what's that word?
Bias?
When you have when, let's say for example, they could take it against the person who they know is going to be a soon-to-be mother. Discriminating.
Yeah.
They could be using that for discrimination purposes. Not to mention, like, what the fuck? This is none of your business. I mean,
they also don't have to share it.
The tracking of that.
They don't have to share it. It's an incentive.
It is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's not like they're forcing them to.
No, right. And they're incentivized. The fact that they're incentivizing it almost makes it like, okay, I don't feel comfortable with this.
Yeah.
You guys are being creepy, but $1,200 is $1,200. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's the part that bothers me and that I find a little disturbing. That is not only that, but the motivation is like, hey, we just want them to be concentrating on their work, which is to say, like, we don't care about the pregnancy section at all. We just concerned on how this will affect our bottom line, which in turn can be used to, hey, maybe we shouldn't be hiring this person, or maybe this person should be put on this project, or maybe we shouldn't be looking
Potentially, yes, it could. Yeah.
Yeah, basically discriminate.
Mm-hmm.
And that is fucked up. And of course,
It is.
totally
Definitely.
expected from a company like freaking Activision Blizzard.
Also, totally against the law. So feel free to do that, Activision, so somebody can take action.
Somebody can take action against you. 100%. Yes.
So I'm just saying.
Yes.
My last piece, guys, is all about Sekiro, and it is off to a great start. From Software's latest game, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice looks to be a hit. Publisher Activision has shared sales figures for the title so far, revealing that Sekiro has already sold over 2 million copies. According to a post on Activision's official website, Sekiro sold 2 million copies across all platforms, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, in just 10 days. As the announcement highlights, the game holds a 90-plus Metacritic review score, average across all platforms. Pulse further reveals that Sekiro was the #1 viewed game on Twitch with more than 631 million minutes watched during launch weekend. From there, it went to be viewed on over 1.1 billion minutes in 1 week. So it is quite the hit, and that explains why I had a lot of people watching yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely good, and it's definitely a game that, I mean, it's a viewable game. You know what I mean? Because you can have fun now. I was having fun with it, even though I was dying. And it's still,
yes.
It's like I said, man. It's the game.
Now here's a proposition. So ready?
Yes.
EA buys From Software.
Oh God.
And Sekiro 2 is an EA exclusive.
And I will play Sekiro 1.
Microsoft to drop news on E3 during 2019. What? Microsoft to drop news on E3 on 2019? Well, hello. Of course, we expect them to.
I hope so.
And Xbox Fan Fest during the next week's Inside Xbox episode. On next week's episode of Inside Xbox, I guess they're Xbox Direct.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Will feature information on Microsoft plans for E3 2019 and Xbox Fan Fest. An hour-long episode of Inside Xbox will take place on next week's Tuesday, April 16, and it will feature the latest news on E3, Xbox Fan Fest, and more. During the show, Microsoft said to expect Xbox Game Pass news, new details on the anniversary update of Sea of Thieves, details and footage of Warhammer Chaos Bane beta, and an exclusive look at Reach 2. And a handful.
Oh yeah, that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah. A handful of backward compatibility announcements are planned. The Coalition, Rod Ferguson, will drop by, and there will be several surprises during the show. It will be broadcast through Facebook, Mixer, Twitch, Twitter, and of course YouTube. So the other piece of news that I had to do with Microsoft actually was that there is a rumor that, and I think we had our last podcast early in the last week, so I don't remember who brought this up. I don't think so, but stop me if you heard this. Microsoft reportedly plans to launch Xbox Game Pass Ultimate just in time for the release of the discless Xbox One.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think we didn't bring that up.
Or what's it called? The Xbox One. Hey, there's no disc here edition. What they call it? Like something weird. Don't you remember they had a long ass title for the Xbox One? Anyway, just in time for the Xbox One. So the point is, according to a Twitter user at Hawksword H0X0D, I don't know. The Verge, rather, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate combines Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass into a single monthly charge. In the US, it will reportedly cost $14.99 a month, around 1150 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it amounts to savings of around $5 a month. So you will need Xbox Live Gold subscription to play Xbox games online, and of course, Xbox Game Pass is like a Netflix style subscription that gives you access to a library of titles. I feel like at some point I think it might have been prediction for last year's E3. Where one of us mentioned the possibility of combining that.
Yes, it was either E3 or maybe it was even mentioned for this year predictions.
For this year prediction?
For the year, yeah. But yeah, I think it's one that keeps coming up, and it definitely appears as we're getting to that point. So
yeah. And just this past.
For the record, it was my prediction, so I want full credit.
It was your prediction. Okay. I know. I think it was mine. I think.
Sure.
But it was for last year E3, so it don't matter. Watch Dogs 3 will probably be set in London. I mean, that's the rumor. There's not much to say about that because it's still a rumor, but it makes sense.
Yeah, the getaway. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Well, I mean, when you think about it, the thing with London,
nothing but Cockney accents. That's what I need.
If neither of us play the Watch Dogs 2, no. I heard the game was all right, but it kind of got a little weird with the shooting aspect of it. Like it was like people found it to be a little bit too shootery for the type of like the hacker thing that they were trying to portray, on it. So I guess it makes sense to go to London on this next one if this is actually confirmed, which hasn't been yet, because I hear that with London the big thing is it's like a big surveillance state.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense to be around that, and take control of, systems or subvert systems, with your hacking abilities. And it'll be a lot cooler if they put a lot less emphasis on gunplay and more into like the hacking abilities.
Yeah, especially if your character is supposed to be sort of freedom fighter type of, not freedom fighter, but you know what I mean. So someone who's supposed to be doing things for justice or whatever.
He's willing to stick it to the man.
Yeah, by taking them out.
Like,
okay, dude, that's not really the way to go. You know what I mean? So, but
also, London reminds me of the movie V from the Vendetta, and the movie V from the Vendetta has the Guy Fawkes mask, and the Guy Fawkes mask, which is immediately like it makes me think of Anonymous.
Oh, okay. Yes, Anonymous.
So there you go. That's the connection. Okay. Anonymous, the hacking activist group.
Yeah.
So there you go. It comes full circle.
Oh.
So it makes sense. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's true. Although it's Watch Dogs.
We'll see. All right, guys. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
What is up, GG? Sparrowwolf en la casa. I'm glad to be back on the show. I had to make a comment over this week's hot topic. Question was if difficulty ruins a game. Simple answer is no. Difficulty is there to help us improve our skills, to help us enjoy the games. There is no such thing as a ruined game based off difficulty. If you want to experience a game, you risk it based on whatever approach the developer or the creators have had on it while developing the game. That includes difficulty, all right? If by any chance you cannot master, quote unquote, the game immediately, the difficulty level is there to challenge you and to make you come back to the game. It actually augments, if at all, the replayability value on those that have truly an interest on the game. I need to make that clear because there are always curious people that would buy a game or rent a game and after facing the fact that it's not an easy game, they are disappointed and they talk trash about the game. We've been talking about this for the past few weeks, and the fact of the matter is that we have been very condescending overall, in over the past few years. When we think back on how we grew up, over 70s, 80s, even the 90s. But come the year 2000s, we have been very pleasing to the crowds. We have been very pleasing to participants. And whoever, is practicing a sport, needs recognition. Like, yeah, you did your very best. No, you didn't. You either win or you don't. These days, people just want everything as easy as it can be, right? People want to experience a great game without suffering, without having to deal through the skill set development that was intentional. I mean, this type of game, and I know, just in case you didn't know, this question was generated because of the controversy brought to us by people asking for an easy mode over Sekiro. Sekiro, a game that is distributed by Activision with a hand from Software. Very famous company because of the difficulty in their games. How many games do we have that are Sekiro-like, like Dark Soul-like, Bloodborne-like? Yeah. If you counted less than 20, you were right, my friend. Easy games or games that provide difficulty changer in the options or in the menu are out there, and there are plenty. So if you want to play a game that you want to master right from the start based on a change of difficulty, then by all means play something else. Does it sound, elitist? Yes, it does. But such is life. If you are playing Sekiro, you know that the game provides for you to grow. The challenge is there in each and every boss, but with each battle comes experience. With your experience comes the capability of being able to finally beat the boss, and that satisfaction is part of the game, not just from Sekiro, but going back to the question from difficulty in games. I just want to make sure that you understand that difficulty cannot ruin a game, all right? For either side. If the game is too easy, well, it's too easy, and you enjoy it for what it is. If the game is too hard, then you enjoy it for what it is. You need to get good. If you don't have time, if you have kids and you're like, no, I just want to see the story, these developers, yada, 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 play something else. Play something else. As simple as that. But let the people that enjoy this type of game enjoy them for what they are. GG, my friends. Mucha azúcar. Gracias por escucharme. Y hasta la próxima. See you next time.
All right, guys. We are back. And that, of course, was our very own Sparrow Wolf.
Sparrow Wolf!
Telling it like it is when it comes to difficulty.
Wait. You don't steal Gilberto's telling like it is. He's the only one that tells it like it is.
I'm sorry. I take that back. Sorry, Gilberto. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that was Sparrow Wolf.
Sparrow Wolf is azúcar.
Giving you the azúcar.
There you go.
yeah.
With his sweet voice.
With that melodious voice.
Letting you know how it is. I love that we're opening with his statement.
Yes.
First of all, I always love when I have you guys sending stuff to the podcast. So please keep it coming, and I invite anybody from the group, anybody. Yep. I don't care who you are. You want to appear on the hear yourself on the podcast, and share your comments, your thoughts. By all means, send it to us. We'll
send it to the email. Email is going to be goodgamegamergroup@gmail.com.
Yes.
And we will definitely bring you on the show.
Yeah.
So the topic, of course, as you've already heard from Mr. Sparrow Wolf, is can difficulty ruin a game? And his opinion, clearly, is that no, it cannot and it should not.
Yeah.
And obviously, he laid out many of the reasons as to why.
Yes.
Sir, I'm going to start off, and I'm going to really just kind of sit in his camp and say the same thing. That particularly, he mentioned that the Sekiro is the main culprit of the whole debate coming back, because it's come out before with other games, particularly other From Software games. But this game, so the whole deal is that they were trying to put in, which actually they did. Obviously, there's actually a easy mode in a PC version, in a mod, because it's just not from the developer, so it's a modded version put into the game. And it basically calls the question, why would you need something like that? The game isn't broken. it's meant to be this way. It is a design choice to be this way. It is the type of game they're trying to make. And the whole deal is, I mean, for me personally, I consider myself to be kind of early in the game. And while there is story, okay, the story isn't like this huge portion of it. You know what I mean? The huge portion of it is the challenge. That is literally the game. The game is to present you this challenge that seems completely insurmountable. But hey, you can eventually, with practice, because practice is what makes it. Practice makes perfect, right? That's the old phrase says, right? With practice, you can eventually do this. Now, if you don't want to put in the practice, hey, I don't blame you.
The game's not for you.
But exactly, the game's not for you. Another portion that has been brought up, which is the portion that I think frustrates me a little bit more, and that is the question of accessibility. And that is that by not including an easy mode, then the makers from software are not being inclusive to those who need accessibility issues. And I may be wrong, so please, by all means, leave your comments if you think I'm wrong. But my only issue with that is when I think of accessibility, I think of stuff that like the adaptable controller, right? So it allows someone who has physical impairments to play a game they normally couldn't play, right? You also have, which I've seen in games like Uncharted, that had for colorblind, right? Colorblind, so it's like you can't. That seems to be a big thing, right? So those are features where I can understand going, yes, that, and yes, you can include stuff like that into Sekiro, and that would make the game more accessible to those who have those particular impairments. But I don't think difficulty is the same thing. Difficulty now is they don't fall in the same camp. So it's not because you can't. It's not because your ailment can do it. It's just too hard to do it. You know what I mean? And that seems to be where the camp seems to lean on, and that's where I'm like, yeah, I don't think this has to do with accessibility. I think this is just it's difficult, and you feel it should have an easy mode, and that's really it. And it's like, and then of course there have been games that have done it. A perfect example is what is the name of the game? It was one of my favorite games from last year. It's the side-scrolling thing with the girl who has the
Estelle, not Estelle.
Celeste. Thank you. Thank you.
Close.
Yeah, you helped me out though. You helped me out.
That was George Costanza's mom.
Yes, it is. So Celeste, and Celeste had an easy mode essentially, or an assist mode. Essentially, there's a way you really wouldn't die, and hey, that's the developer's choice to do so. That's fine. That's the type of game they were trying to make. You shouldn't blame them for including easy mode. You should also not blame them if they chose not to. That's the whole aspect. It's like choose not to is because hey, this is the type of game we're trying to do. And while I think, and I think you would agree that gaming in general should be for everyone, doesn't necessarily mean every game will be for everyone. You know what I mean? And so that's the weird line. And I kind of sit on the camp that going, yeah, it's okay that this isn't for you. You know what I mean? And for you, for example, you're not impaired in any way. You just choose to go, I don't like to play this.
I'm not that bright. Yeah, I don't have a big. I'm not very intelligent.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am very dumb. Let's be real. I mean, I think.
Whatever.
I think the vast majority of the people in the group will agree. But
I'm sure they will disagree 100%.
Yeah. No.
No, seriously. You choose not to play the game because you recognize what it's off. You recognize the type of game it is, and just go, that's not for me.
I don't like parries.
You don't like parrying and you don't like stealth. And that is literally the game. You know what I mean? It's
parry stealth the game.
Yeah, exactly.
As it's known in Japan.
Yeah. That's what Sekiro stands for.
Yes.
No, so that's what I'm trying to say. And I agree with him, and also in the sense that you've got a lot of people who are fighting back on this to say, hey, oh boy, I think a retort is on its way because somebody has just stood up and is adjusting himself.
Hi, my name is David Santos, and I have things to say. Also, I had 3 beers of 6%. Also, amen.
Drank
really fast.
2.5.
Shut up. Don't undermine me. No.
Sorry.
So
apologies.
No. So first of all, yes, you will not have an argument from me. So we agree. All right, that's the show. Thank you. No, we don't. You wouldn't have an argument for me to say there are sometimes games that you wouldn't want to mess with the formula to try to make them accessible. Accessible to make them easier. Actually, let's go ahead and say it to make it accessible. And game in mind that comes right now will be Eve Online.
Oh,
Eve Online it's not a hard game to get into.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite simple, quite easy to get into. But there's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of things that to learn. And it gets complex, and it is a living universe, basically on this type of game. This is a sci-fi MMO about spaceships, about space conglomerations, about huge crazy battles, and it has espionage, it has intrigue, it has betrayal, it has made some of the most amazing pieces of news because of the betraying the stuff that has happened. Most recently, there's a politician. There's an actual politician who I forgot what is his post, but let's say he's a politician in the U.S. Government, and he plays the game, and he was banned from playing the game because of corruption. It was saying acts of corruption he was doing, and crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
This game is obviously hardcore.
yes.
Hardcore. I've tried to play it.
Oh, you have
Several times.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I've gone at least a couple of times because I wanted to see what it was about, and I was having fun for the little bit of time that I played. But I knew in my mind that there was no way I'm never gonna get to the levels of the people that play, and that game could be ruthless because if you're in free space, as they call it, and you could get attacked and you could get destroyed because I don't know, I'm a newbie, so it is very unwelcoming. However, it's not unsurmountable. It's not unsurmountable. It is possible
Correct.
to get good at that
with dedication.
Yeah, with dedication. So games like that, I wouldn't want them to change the formula or create an easy world, even though technically they have an area of space which is quote unquote safe. Like it already, space. I feel like yes, actually, I believe that might be even what it's
the
called.
name. Okay.
Yeah. It already has what it should have, and no more. Like it doesn't need to be brought down or simplified. That game is famous for being super complex on all the spreadsheets that you have to learn for each ship and whatever. I wouldn't want them to like simplify that, too much to try to make it available. To try to make it available for just anyone and everyone. Not because I don't want to be inclusive, but because I don't feel that game or those type of games should just be they should be simplified. I mean
it would alter the game itself.
Yeah,
by doing so.
Exactly. And we have seen that happen already on the gaming industry, where there's some games that we know and love, which have been simplified. They have been they have made simplified for the sake of accessibility and made into an amalgamation of every other game. Like suddenly this game doesn't feel like something special anymore. It just feels like every other game because every other game is what sells.
Correct.
So we have seen people making those decisions for that purpose.
It's been Disneyfied. Yes.
It's been Disneyfied. Yeah. Yeah. Disneyfication.
Yes. Disneyfication.
Of games. So yes, I fully agreed with the fact that we need those games that are geared towards the hardcore level, towards the hardcore gamer. And I don't mean this to demean anybody in saying, well, if you don't like Sekiro, if you don't like EVE Online, if you don't like those type of games, Dark Souls, then you're not a hardcore gamer. And that's not what I'm trying to say.
So they're hardcore fans. I think it's more like.
Yeah. I'm saying you need games that are difficult. Yes, you can't just be all easy. All right. That said, I do wholeheartedly believe that you can actually, in fact, ruin a game or make a game bad based on how difficult you make it. Because you have to strike a balance. It could be difficult, but doable. There should still be a solution that is fair, that is not, oh, I need to be a superhuman. And I'll give you a perfect example. Old NES title, Silver Surfer. I brought Silver Surfer.
Wow.
Silver Surfer for the NES was a game by LJN, not known for the quality of their games, not known for having a structured difficulty level. No, those games were just fucking hard because it was poorly made. They were just, Silver Surfer was a game where obviously you're playing as a Silver Surfer, navigating to some type corridor. Sometimes it's like a shmup type of game, like a bullet hell,
shoot 'em up,
yeah, type of game. Bullets will fly from everywhere. Enemies will come in crazy patterns, and you're somehow expected to be able to dodge sometimes bullets that you can't even see because they blend perfectly in the background, and pass the stage. Now, there are people that play crazy games like that play games like I Wanna Be the Boshi, which is not a commercial game that is out there that you could get on Steam or anything like that. It's games that some macabre person, some evil person created just for the sake of making the most brutal and the most crazy and unfair game possible for funsies. But hey, you can still play it, you can still beat it, even though it's insane. I'm glad those games exist, And that type of game, the whole purpose was to be, it's almost like a commentary on those type of game, but also the fact that it's a game that is that hard, it's still beatable by a very selective few people. That's awesome. But Silver Surfer that was not the intention of Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer was just a crap game.
What year did that game come out?
It was early. It must have been the 80s. It definitely was the 80s. Okay. Now, another example, this is and I'll bring it to this era again. I just want to take those old ones out of the way. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES. Yeah,
I love that game.
I love that game too. Yeah. It has an excellent soundtrack. One of my first soundtrack on NES, and the gameplay was fun. It was not like a super great game, but it was fun. It was a little too difficult in some areas. It was still beatable, but it was frustrating. That one was totally in the line of this is too hard, and the difficulty that fucking electric algae level comes to mind underwater
sewer level.
Yes. So it was the difficulty of that game was so much that it ruined the game. You have a game like Contra is great, and I'm not gonna say that Contra was ruined in any way because Contra is fine. But let's be real. Most of you beat Contra with the 30 lives cheat code. You did not finish Contra with the 3 lives. Let's be real.
So
most of you.
I know you're going to bring it back to more contemporary.
Right.
So before you do, I do want to sort of retort what you just said about those games. One, I think that at the time, like Ninja Turtles, for instance, even Battletoads, which was
Battletoads.
Another one. Yes, at the time, Battletoads definitely. I think personally, Battletoads really crossed a line when it came.
I think that game was ruined by difficulty because the gameplay was awesome.
That said,
but you needed a game.
For me, what I remember is going. This is what all NES games are. They're just not easy. They're not, and you can definitely agree that the games of the NES era.
For the most part,
for the most part, the difficulty on them, and it was because of the limited what you can do. 1 and 2 is very early in the video game life cycle, and 3, arcades were a big thing.
Yeah.
Right. So the balancing, what they were trying to, a lot of them were trying to do is, okay, we need, because a lot of these were also available in the arcades. We're saying, okay, we need to make this game, but we need to make it hard enough so that they put more quarters in, but beatable enough that we don't.
That people don't get frustrated.
They don't just say fuck it.
Exactly. So, but it's still a balance.
But the difficulty was high because of that. It was trending on the higher end because guess what? We do want more quarters.
Right,
you know what I mean? So a lot of these games during that time had that going for them. And then again, when it came to the home console market, dude, I remember spending God knows how much time trying to be the first Ninja Gaiden, and never did I think the game was unfair. I just always thought this is how hard game is. Dude, Kid Icarus is like, oh my God, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
There's a reason why throwing controllers is a thing.
You know
what I mean? So
I get that. I get the point. And yes, you can have very hard games that are incredibly fun. Again, we mentioned Contra, Life Force. You mentioned what was it? The last one that you just mentioned just now.
Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus, and before that.
Fuck Kid Icarus.
Yeah, fuck Kid Icarus. Before that.
Ninja Gaiden.
And Ninja Gaiden. My God, Ninja Gaiden. One of my favorite games. Yeah.
But it wasn't easy.
It was not easy at all.
It wasn't easy at all.
However,
I never thought it was unfair. It's what I'm saying. I never thought it was going, oh, you've crossed the line.
However, Ninja Gaiden 3, though, did. Because Ninja Gaiden 3, it will kill you, and you will go all the way back to the beginning, and you only have like 3 life and no continues, or maybe like 1 or 2 continues, something like that. It became a point where you kind of have an expectation set for what how hard the game was, and then Ninja Gaiden 2 came out,
the line,
and it was actually I thought Ninja Gaiden 2 was a little bit tight easier, but it might have been
that
I played that more.
By the time the third one came
out,
the
third one came out, they pushed the line too much, and now it became Battletoads hard, you know. And Battletoads is a perfect example of a game that is, hey, this game should have been a hit, should have been incredibly fun, but guess what? That level, that fucking unfair level with the thing, that ruined that game.
It's very early.
So it's very early. That ruined that game. So what my point is that although I don't think games should be Disneyfied, there's definitely cases of games that got ruined by their difficulty because they couldn't strike the balance. Let's bring it to the present now.
Okay.
So Dark Souls, like the consensus among everyone, people that liked it, people that played it and stopped playing it, was that, hey, this game is fucking hard, but it's fair. Like, okay, wait a minute, that's not. What are you saying? So is it hard or is it fair? No, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah. It's both because you know that when you mess up on that game, it's because you made a wrong move. You know, it's because you got a little too eager. So it was always good at balancing difficulty and expectation. Whereas you have a game like I'm trying to bring it. Okay, so XCOM 2. XCOM 1 was my favorite game released in 2012. I love that game. It was my game of the year of that year. So I was super eagerly anticipating XCOM 2.
Yeah, too. Yeah, I remember this.
I played XCOM 2. I gave it several tries before I said, like, you know what? I'm done with this game because it just became way too hard. I'm not gonna say XCOM 2 is a bad game because it's not. You know, it's not. There are people that can play. There are people that have the strategy laid out. So it just got too unsurmountable to me to where it ruined my experience because suddenly it was not like XCOM 1. On XCOM 2, you start from a position from a very, very, very bad position, like of inferior technology, you know, battling these supreme aliens. And as you are leveling up little by little, the scraps of humanity are taking, you know, their weapons and making them a little bit better. The aliens are getting also exponentially, you know, better and harder to you know, harder difficulty. I felt like on that game I was just saves coming the whole way, and it's difficult to saves come on a game like XCOM because usually the outcome will be the same unless you take a different route. So I was basically doing that, and at that point it's like, wait a minute, so I'm not having fun anymore. I'm just reloading. I'm just constantly reloading a save. A most recent example also became.
So would you? Okay, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Wolfenstein. I love Wolfenstein. The original Wolfenstein to me was great.
It is.
It's a great game. It's a great story. It's a game. It's a great first person shooting game made by Machine Games and published by Bethesda. Come Wolfenstein 2, and something happened. Something happened on that on that game where suddenly I felt that the difficulty has ramped up way too much compared to the original, which the original was hard enough already. This one ramped way too much when it was hindering my level of fun. Again, that's another game I'm not gonna call that it was a bad game. However, in order to get the level of enjoyment back on it, I had to lower down the difficulty. I had to play.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I had to bring it down. Yeah, and I was glad that it had it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what those lower difficulty levels for. And I know we joke about baby ass baby mode and all that stuff. I am joking half the time. If that's where your level of enjoyment is at, then that's where it's at. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like, hey, you don't want to go through that challenge of whatever it is that they assume normal is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the beauty is that they have that option to do so. A lot of the older games didn't really have that option. I don't know if XCOM 2 did it have a difficulty option to lower the difficulty, or was it just set at what it was?
It did. The problem was that it was still like the way you start XCOM. Since I told you start from so low technology level that ramping that up it gets difficult. Like I said, it's not impossible. And there were I was watching YouTube. There was a point that I felt like I was watching more YouTube videos than what I was actually playing the game and enjoying the game. And because of that, it kind of subverted my expectation of it to where I was thinking that I was gonna enjoy the next game of the year because it's a sequel to one of my favorite games, and it just became too much, to the point where it's not a bad game. I still will score it, or I still will agree with people that score it higher. But to me, it certainly ruined it for me. That difficulty that Spike got that too much, and it didn't have anything to do with, well, I just need to to get good. Yeah, I probably should have kept on it and kept on it and kept on it. I'm sure at some point I would have broken that barrier, but was it worth it? If I'm not having fun at the end of the day, then you gotta ask.
If you're not having fun with, because the whole deal there is, if you're having, the whole point of a challenging game, of a difficult game, to challenge you to the point where you're feeling you're having to I don't know, to basically pass this unpassable thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you do, and you enjoy it, and you suddenly go, yeah, you just like you absolutely cherish that moment, like, yes,
yeah,
you know what I mean. And if you don't have that, then yes, that's not for you.
Yeah.
I posted the video onto the group. I was hoping I was going to be able to beat Kenichiro in the streams. I didn't, but I kept playing as I was going through the night, and it wasn't until way late in the evening at night that I finally actually did it, and I caught video of it and I posted it, and I've listened to myself and I laughed because I'm like, yes, I remember this. I remember the absolute elation I had when I was just like, yes, and I started literally just walking around the level after, just not even running, not even doing else, like just walking. I was just sneaking by people. I wasn't killing anything, it was just I realized like in a daze, and I was like, this was that awesome of a moment. And when you have that, and if you could experience that and you feel good after that, but knowing that, I'm nowhere near the end, there's still going to be another set of people who are just as hard, if not harder, that I'm going to have to face. But I'm okay with that. If you get to that point, you love the moment, that it leads, that you're okay, that you're ready to go to the next moment, then this is for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But if you're not, in the case of XCOM 2, it's like you do finally beat a difficult mission, and you feel more dread for the next one because it's going to be like, the next one's going to be even worse. You know what I mean? It's like, well, then obviously this is again the scenario of having that insurmountable challenge isn't for you.
Yeah.
You said yourself, you like feeling like a badass in the game. These type of games don't do that.
You're not meant to feel like a badass. You're actually meant to be a wimp. Yeah. Not a wimp, but a... Well, depends. Some games, that's the whole point. You're like, okay, hide from the monster. Don't try to attack it.
Oh, those are really bad. Yeah, I can't stand those. But like Outlast.
Outlast. That's the one I was thinking.
I hate that damn game. Although I do like it too. But that's the whole deal where you're not you will feel badass because man did I ever feel badass taking out Kenichiro on that last battle.
Yeah.
Although I fought him probably a good 39 times before that. You know what I mean? But I still feel great. Still felt great about that. And if you don't have that, it's just that's okay. It's not. And I don't mean to you specifically. I'm saying for those who don't enjoy that particular scenario, then it's not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. It's like that's okay.
There are way too many, and I get it. Not everybody have access to play all the games that maybe you and I play.
Yeah.
But I always think of there's a lot of games out there that you could that you can go to if the game that you're playing right now you're not having fun. You learn from it and you had the fun until the part where you didn't have it anymore. Recent example was Resident Evil 2 remake. Resident Evil 2 remake. I was having a blast. Like, dude, I thought, okay, the game came out when, in February? I was thinking like, okay, January, this is it. Yeah. There's nothing better. There's not gonna be anything better than this. This is my game of the year. And plus on the fact that it ran beautifully on my PC. And then fucking Mr. X happened. And then I was like, okay, I'm no longer playing. And mind you, coming from a person that had never played Resident Evil 2, so I was not expecting this or anything like that. Now I'm not playing the game that I thought I was playing. Now I'm just mostly running. This sucks. this game got ruined. And I'm not gonna play it anymore. And then I started seeing YouTube videos and talking to you, and then and that's when it hit me like, oh, wait a minute, there are certain things that I could do to minimize the suckiness of Mr. X, and I did, and then I passed the part, and I'm sure he's gonna appear again, and I kind of got sidetracked because I'm playing something else, but yes, it got to a point where at one point I thought, well, this game went from great to shit. I was seriously thinking how the hell? Why would Capcom decide to ruin the perfect balance of this game? And I still think in a matter, I don't think it's shit anymore, but in a matter, I still think like, man, like if this was a scary, like if I could just concentrate on admiring this environment and checking these things and scavenging and killing some zombies and didn't have to worry about this stupid ass person interrupting whatever I was, whatever I'm doing,
he brings you right back down,
just to run. This game will be better. But whatever, I can't I still can't complain. I still can't give it crap to the game because that's the choice that the designers made.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not a bad choice. It's just a choice you would rather have than not done.
I rather not prefer it, but it's still fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's still a fantastic game. Ghouls and Goblins.
Oh.
I love that game. That game is hard as balls, and I will never beat it, especially knowing that you have to beat it twice in order to get the real ending.
I never knew that. I found that out probably a good 8-10 years ago.
Yeah,
I never knew, because I just assumed, it's gonna be there, but I never got
this
to
game
the
is
end,
impossible as it is already. And no, wait a minute.
That's like the original Dark Souls right there. That's what that is.
So do you have to beat it twice?
No, I'm just saying
on the hard.
You're a knight. You're going through.
Yeah. So that's a game that I always say, hey, I still love that game, but and it has a difficulty. That it will never allow me to beat the game, but it's still a great game. Mm-hmm. But again, just you have those, and then you have fucked up game. Like I wish I could actually remember a recent game that it was that, because the examples that are coming is like, okay, pretty much the entire LJN library is that.
Well, yeah,
it's games that there's no thought, there's no strategy put. This was just game that just just to take a screenshot and put it for marketing. Like it doesn't matter how it plays.
Yeah, and there were a lot of games like that back then. That's exactly what you had before the video game crashed, though. But that's just
there are games like that in the present. Like I would like to.
I would like to think that in the present you have the option, like you mentioned with Wolfenstein, you have the option to lower that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's there, and and with Wolfenstein, it's always been there.
Well, let me ask you then.
It's never been that you always had just one mode. You have your easy.
So okay, so now that you mentioned that, then wouldn't Sekiro benefit from having an easy mode?
It would not.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The difference is that it's not intended to have any. The intention is the gameplay itself is the challenge.
Okay.
And to take that away in any way, literally, you're going to be left with a game that isn't good.
Are you gonna quote the? Do you have the quote?
I don't have the quote. No,
oh my God! So there was this fantastic quote. Please look it up because this thing was hilarious. So there was. So it had to do with the fact with this discussion about Sekiro and about somebody evidently played with the mod and was able to beat the game with the mod, and then or posted that was able to, like I don't know exactly, but the response to this was hilarious in how memeable it became. It was.
I sure have it.
And oh my God, you know what? Should I be pausing just to find it? Let me pause it. Let me pause it real quick. We'll find it and we'll come back and we'll let you know. And we're back. And now we'll have Arnaldo Martin dramatize the response of someone on some forum about Sekiro to the person that beat the game in easy mode with a mod.
A fetusberry on Twitter responds to PC Gamer. PC Gamer put in, I beat Sekiro's final boss with cheats and I'm fine. Fetusberry's response is, you cheated not only the game, but yourself. You didn't grow. You didn't improve. You took a shortcut and gained nothing. You experienced a hollow victory. Nothing was risked and nothing was gained. It's sad that you don't know the difference.
And scene. That was the response.
Yes.
And it was hilarious because now this is what I want. I want every game where anybody uses easy mode or baby mode or let alone cheats in the game.
I would say
I want this to be their game over screen. I wanted to say that. Your victory is hollow. And it makes me sad that you don't know the difference. I do.
Yeah. It's actually pretty well and it's like blown up. And
it has blown up.
Memes
yes.
have got, my God, when I have seen all the ridiculous, well done for the record. I mean, they've literally taken segments of a game and inputting this and putting it in is like, wow.
Like dialogue from different characters and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I want. You know, the if you cheat on a game, that should be what comes out so you can feel really, really about what you have done. Your victory is hollow. You know, if you're cheating on a game, your victory is hollow.
It's a pretty good one, and he has gone on the record afterwards saying he's like, I don't even care anymore, but I'm just glad that people are making memes of it.
Yeah,
and he's like, keep bringing them.
Yeah, keep bringing them.
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, the fact that the mod is out there, I mean, it is what it is. If that's what you guys want to use, it's fine. But in the end,
your victory is hollow.
It is in essence a hollow victory. It is. So I'm gonna end my segment on this with a nice little story. Won't take very long. And I think I've told this story to a few people, but I don't know if I've ever mentioned it here. But my son Nick, he used to love to play foosball. We had a foosball table in my house. Actually, where my wife offices, that was literally just a smaller futon that's there, and then a foosball table. That's what was there, and we played all the time, dude. I used to just like always beat him. Never failed. It was like, dude, whatever. I got, and if obviously it would frustrate him and stuff like that, and it is what it is, right? But my wife always used to go, hey, God, you don't let anybody win on anything, because even my wife used to play, and that was even worse. It was like, but she was like, you don't let anybody win.
You don't let your wife win? Come on, man.
I don't let anyone win.
What kind of monster are you? You wouldn't let me win. Actually, you didn't let me win because we played Street Fighter together, and you were not kind to me.
But here's the deal, and this is what I told my wife. I was like, I don't want to let him win, because if I let him win, that he doesn't learn anything from that. And that's and in essence, I didn't tell this to her, but in essence, that's a hollow victory. Because I'll know, everybody knows except him, and he's the one who has to know that he won for fair and square. So
just like life, just like
Giovanni said, just like life.
There's gonna be stuff in life where, hey, not everybody, not all of you are winners. You want to be a winner, you have to earn it.
You have to earn it. So
your victory cannot be hollow.
I pulled him aside and I was like, look, man, here's what we'll do. Every night I'll come home from work, we'll play 3 matches. First 1 to 10 on each match wins. And we'll do this. We'll just do it for a while, and I guarantee you're gonna start to get better. He was like, okay, because he always wanted to play with me anyway. It doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, cool. I will call him from work, knock on his door because he'd be playing a video game, and I come in this is what I was.
Football time.
I would tell him, pop quiz, come on, you know, and then he would
You're fucking what? Sabotage training day?
Yeah, sure.
So he was pure Ethan Hawke, and you were fucking Samuel Jackson.
So he would literally pause his video game wherever he's at, pause the video game, run into the room with me. We'd play 3 matches. I would, for the most part, in the beginning, I was just like killing him, just like because again, it was still early, dude. This went on for. And this is not even a joke. This went on for months, right? Obviously, we'll skip here and there on the weekends. Maybe I'll pop quiz him in the middle of a Saturday or something like that. Eventually, he started getting better. Eventually, he started getting closer. I would still win the 3 matches, but it wouldn't be 2 to 10. It would be 6 to 10, 7 to 10, and then eventually started getting to the point he was right on that line, and he would lose. And
you were sweating,
and I wasn't sweating, but no. What it is, it's the same feeling you get in the game. Remember, you saw me playing because I showed you the video. But you said it yourself. You realizing how close you are, and now you're starting to mess up. And that's what he was doing. And, he would mess up, and that's normal, dude. That's normal because you realize, oh my God, I'm right there. And he would mess up, and then he would go like to his mom, was like, oh my God, I was this close. I just did, and I was like, it's all good, man. It's all good, dude. When he finally freaking won, all right, he was ecstatic, bro.
I know he came down to you like a fucking ton of bricks.
No.
like the lightning from Zeus. No. He just fulminated you.
He was ecstatic.
Well, you were the last boss.
He
became the bossy.
Yes, there you go. He took over at that point.
Yes.
And I think we played for a little bit after that, but no, he went to.
Then you will no longer challenge for him.
And I told my wife immediately, look at this. Why would I ever keep this from him?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would I ever give him a victory when this means more than anything else?
Yes.
Because he had to go through all that to earn it. Yeah. It wasn't I gave him the win, which he can get at any time. No, that's not how you freaking learn.
That's right. Well, you know what I'm imagining right now is a montage of you guys playing at the music to the music. Push it to the limit.
And then you're sweating.
And he's sweating.
As you're using the foosball. Yeah, that's great.
And he's climbing the stairs of the Philadelphia Library. Well,
yes, that's right. Yes. Oh man,
getting ready to fight. All right, so I'm gonna give my take, and I'm gonna go home.
Okay.
Basically, I just wanted to remind her or to say that that yes, there's some type of games that are what they are. This is the artist vision of what it should be, and who are we? Don't think that just because I'm the paying customer. No, but you know what? You're not
Then
might
don't
be the
pay.
paying customer for this particular title. This particular title does not have to be for you. But let's not lose sight of the fact that there is and has been proven, before that there are games that can be ruined for difficulty if that difficulty is not it's I don't want to say tame, but if it's not balanced, because putting difficulty for difficulty's sake doesn't make a great game. I mean, it does make great games if that's all that you're into, but like you can have a difficult game that is fair, like the Dark Souls, and I'm sure Sekiro is actually, because I seen your progress, and I've seen the progress. But then you could have a game that is just that just got broken because, well, this has no logical exit. You just made it harder just to make it harder. There's not, or you made it harder because you didn't balance very well the enemies or your character itself.
One would argue that's a broken game. But yes,
it could be. Yeah, exactly. At that point, you have ruined a game. You have broken a game because you didn't know how to win. And to be fair, I do not think that XCOM is broken. XCOM is just
XCOM 2.
XCOM 2, yeah. XCOM 2 is not broken. XCOM 2 just went a little bit too sour for me. You know what? There is a way. Hey, there are people that like salty stuff. There's people that like sweet stuff. There are people that, and you can go into a point where, yes, this food will still be cataloged as great, but not for your taste buds. So that's how. Just like this beer. Just like IPAs. IPAs could be great. Not this beer, but IPAs can be great. But you know what? I recognize they're great beers, but it's a little too sour for me.
Yeah.
So,
you prefer something a little bit easier on the palate.
Yeah. Why does it have to be easier, bro? Why gotta you say just more palatable? Are you trying to say that I drink baby malt beer?
No, what we're drinking is not baby malt beer. It is a beer of a different
difficulty level?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. More accessible beer.
Yeah, more accessible beer.
You go.
There you go. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. As always, please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there. And, of course, like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. I want to give a big shout-out to Sparrow Wolf, a.k.a. What?
Yeah, also known as...
a.k.a. Giovanni. Thank you so much for sending in your thoughts and your comments on the hot topic. And I also welcome everyone else who's listening to please do the same. Go to Good Game Gamer Group, or rather send it to goodgamegamergroup@gmail.com, and we will definitely put you on the show. And so, yeah, this is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, take us home.
I am not an easy person to listen. I am a little bit more challenging. But if you're willing to take the challenge, I will invite you to listen to the entirety of this podcast. Another here, he's baby mode. It's easy to listen to him. I mean, he's the personable one. I mean, just look, listen to that laughter, and you can tell. That's all I have to say. GG!
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
GG! For the price of one.